everybody. PTG, Proxy Table Gaming. I'm Hyper G, and I'm with Lucky Sixes.
Howdy.
How do? And we are celebrating once again a game of Essence of War.
We like celebrating.
Well, that is something to celebrate, isn't it?
We're big celebrators.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't stop ever.
We don't stop celebrating.
Never, ever. Cool.
Nothing can bring us down.
No, it can't.
Bro.
No, and actually, this game was well, for my part, it was about 2 weeks in the making because I challenged my opponent about 2 weeks before the game. My opponent, funnily enough, for whatever reason, I don't know what the reason was, he only found out about the challenge about a day before the game happened.
It did, yeah.
So I thought the challenge had been accepted, but my opponent knew nothing about it. But anyway, it was against Remy, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously.
Well, if you've read the title, you know. That's what I was thinking when we do like these.
Always get caught up on that, don't I? Always.
Yeah, when we do these reveals, like, well, they've clicked on it. They already know.
Yeah,
but no, carry on. I didn't, so there you go.
You did.
You read
the title.
Yeah, I know.
Remy,
you say.
Yeah, so Remy made me chuckle the very first time I played an Essence of War game. I think that was against Rob of RH World Building, and he did on Remy on his channel. He did a tactical review, which was very good and very worth watching, as are the rest of his videos on Essence. Along with all his other stuff, no doubt, which I haven't watched. And he made me chuckle by absolutely slating my tactics in that first Essence of War game. I did lose it, so by all right, he was right to slate me. Fair enough. But obviously, in a bit of fun, I decided to challenge him to a game myself. Pateglio hosted on Veil of the Ages Twitch channel. Very much grateful to him, and on TTS, his little thing. Yep. And so, Remy accepted the challenge about 2 weeks after it was made. And then the day after it was accepted, we battled in Essence of War. Pateglio gave us the option of some armies to choose. I had first choice, actually. I'm not sure if Remy knew that or not. But of the list of armies, I went with an unusual one, especially for me, Undying Dynasties. I fancy to go with them. Not an army I know overly well, but I like them. They're one of the armies I do enjoy thinking about. And Remy took on the Highborn Elves. Boo, hiss. Boo, hiss, boo. So it's Essence of War, me versus Remy, UD versus HBE. No doubt you're cheering for the HBE. In fact, you actually attended in the chat, didn't you? You were watching this one.
Yeah, I like the chat. I like getting involved and just heckling.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you want to be involved in the chat in the future, you just have to go to Veil of the Ages Twitch, and you can be part of it in the future. Because this is by no means going to be the last one of these.
Absolutely, and make sure you check out Remy's thing as well. I know you've said that as well, but do it, guys. Don't just listen to us and don't do it. Do it.
Yeah, cool. So what follows is the entire recording of the battle without tactics. That's for Remy. And I hope you enjoy it. So wish me luck.
Good luck.
Horrible
Highborn Elves.
Roll the footage.
See you later.
We play a game with two very good friends from England. I'm a bit ashamed of what I'm gonna do, hosting them on my channel, because they are big YouTubers. They are stars, much brighter than this strange Twitch stream that I bring to you. Ladies and gentlemen, in the top corner, proudly representing the honor of the color red, we have Hyper G.
Good evening all. How are you doing?
Hello, Hyper G. You're not only representing the color red, you're also representing the PTG Proxy Table Gaming channel, which is the channel for the 9th Age. I'm gonna say it's like capital T, capital H, capital E, and then all the other letters in there. But always very happy.
You always flatter me and flatter us, and we're very grateful.
Never enough. Never enough. And also in the bottom corner, you see in color blue, not brew, color blue, we were talking about coffee and double espresso and all of the other ingredients that I'm not going to mention because this is still supposed to be a family-friendly show, or maybe not.
Better kick me out then, sorry.
Please stay and make the show non-friendly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Remy. Hello.
Good evening. Hi there, Potato. How you doing?
All is good. We're glad to have you on boards for this game. You're gonna be taking up the challenge of trying a patrol that we haven't played much so far. It is a new one. I can maybe go back to Tabletop Simulator and flip things down so that you people can see what it is that I'm talking about. Tonight, Remy will be playing with the Highborn Elves. So, not much experience with this specific patrol yet. We have a mage, 10 citizen archers, 5 highborn lancers, 15 flame wardens, and this is one of the few characters who has 3 spells. The mage has Know Thine Enemy, Scorching Salvo, and Truth or Time, which is kind of an exceptional thing, except for the fact that it is playing tonight against Hyper-G's army, which is also one of the very few armies that has 3 spells. And so we have the Death Cult Hierarch, with Death is only the beginning, Fate's Judgment, and Dance Macabre. Then archers, skeleton archers, 2 skeleton chariots, 3 Shaptis, and then the spells that we mentioned. And let me see, I'm gonna take a few spell markers. I'm gonna put them here for the moment being, then I'm gonna help you with placing them where they belong. I'm gonna roll a faction die so that we can see who's gonna go first. Red is Hyper-G, blue is Remy, and 1, 2, 3. All right, red. Excellent.
I always win that roll.
The one roll you didn't want to win, right?
I think I'm 3 for 0 on that roll now.
Oh man, it's actually interesting from a playtesting point of view because I'm kind of intrigued by that as Potato knows. It's like I sort of feel like there's a small advantage to going second because of the way the objective works, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do think some of the more shooty armies can take advantage of going first for sure. And yeah, that said, it's not a total downside, obviously, but I feel like if I had to pick, I'd pick second like every time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried. I mean, it's not like it's anything that you can affect. So you just have to literally go with it, don't you? So
oh yeah,
you kind
totally.
of have to prepare. It's a 50-50. You can't prepare one way or the other, can you? Really? So.
No, and I think from I don't know much about obviously the full. I know, well, I say I don't know much. I know a bit about Fantasy Battles, full game and 9th Age, and it sort of simulates that drop per first turn. I guess is that if that's how it works. Am I right?
In some ways, yeah. I mean, definitely, if you win the roll off to determine who chooses deployment zone, and therefore the other person will drop first, and that potentially they can get the choice over who has the first turn. So it kind of flips the other way in the big game. But obviously, in this game, it's the simplified version for a reason. And so if you win that roll off, you basically just are set in stone with everything that goes in the immediate future, and that's great for this level of the game, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think there's enough complexity in how to do the setup and things already. I think there's still quite a lot to think about actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I'm trying to think about right now. But how do I fix my cards actually? Mr. Ages.
You can use the numbers on your keyboard to activate the relevant stages, the relevant states, and maybe I don't know. Maybe we can do this for the spells, and then I can copy and put another one here, and we can have all the.
Okay.
Like so. Yeah.
Right, starting to make sense now.
So let me.
Good.
You're gonna be blue.
I mean,
so let's take.
So the chat was confusing me because it said I had some nasty shooting, according to who was it saying that? Alright, Rob was saying nasty shit, but I'm like, it's not that nasty. It's only strength 3, AP0. It's not that scary. I still think the shootiest list is the Empire Songstyle right now. I think they're definitely the winners.
Marksmen, aren't they?
They're the beast.
In the Cravenlands campaign thread on the forum, we're now starting to look at numbers for assessing the quality of shooting, and I know how to do quick mental calculations, things that of course you experienced players do not truly need. But seriously, 10 skeleton archers, they have a bow that ignores aim modifiers, and that means advancing, and that means cover, that means long range. They just don't care. And you also have 2 shots on the skeleton chariots, which, you know, admittedly is only 2 shots, so it's not crazy stuff, but it's not that bad. So this one for the UD is not the worst shooting either, and I think that the citizen archers can do something to the non-armored troops of the UD. You want shooting to the
Oh no, they're not terrible. I'm just dumping my guys over to my side and facing the right way just to speed things up. Yeah. So this isn't my setup,
I mean,
obviously.
by all means, you could deploy before me if you really want. You know, that's absolutely fine. I'll still take the first turn, but
feel free.
Yeah, all the advantages. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, the opponent deploys first, but you move first. Like what? Sweet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, we did have a little chat before you got on, actually, Potato. So we've been introduced, myself and Hyper G, Mr. G, Mr. G, the OG.
Well, exactly. Something like that, anyway. Yeah. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, interesting. I don't play Undying Dynasties much.
What?
They're not one of my armies. So.
Okay, because I remember that in the beginning, on your channel, you had quite a number of games playing UD, right?
I had, I think they were in the Wooden Spoon tournament. I think they may have done all right tournament. I don't think they did extremely well, so I might have had 1 or 2 battles with them.
Okay.
But that was back in 2018, I think it was, and that was
when we were still young and full of hope.
Indeed.
Unscathed by the wickedness of the century.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So
I think I'm finished deployment there. So.
Nice. Let me take a screenshot. We have the chariots in the middle, and then 3 shanties next to the house, and you have forfeited the one of your skeleton archers to give protection to the hierarch.
I have flipping scorching salvo.
Scorching salvo, yeah.
And
I've
the
played
shooting.
against that 3 times now. 3 times I've gone in against scorching salvo.
I hope you saw me. I hope though. Speaking of mages running around on their own, obviously I played against this Highborn Elf. Yeah. I did manage to kill that mage. I was pretty pleased with that. I was pretty chuffed about that. This wimpy little mage. Although, but I've been looking at Highborn Elf models again, so I've been looking at what I want to use as a mage actually. And but yeah, I have to be patient because I've got a couple of other patrols I want to build first and stop getting crazy with the flipping elves. All right. So yeah.
It's very hard to stop collecting an army once you start.
Yeah, these patrols might be dangerous actually for that point of view.
You know, you can always start printing and cutting out one of the patrols, this one from Antohammer, and that's going to give you the time to slowly choose the appropriate 3D miniature. But you know, you'll have a placeholder in the meantime.
Yeah, this is true. But I'm obviously kind of going in for trying to collect some funky models. Those archers are in such a good spot. It's a disaster for me.
Speaking of which, these are designs from Antohammer.
These are really nice actually. I really like the Highborn Elf ones, I have to say.
They're really pretty. There's like the Flame Wardens, they have this look like they're really serious fighters. And I remember that Anto said that normally he doesn't do cavalry from the front. And I asked him if he could do it from the front rather than from the side, because that was easier from a 2.5D perspective. and he felt a bit the challenge, but in the end I think he made a great job. Like, they look really like a nice cavalry squadron. And on the other side, another very tricky thing to design, black silhouettes for skeletons. If anybody here does drawings, you will realize that's quite a challenge to have skeletons to be represented by silhouette only, and a chariot in a full frontal mode. So sometimes these designs are, right, they're hiding a lot of realization complexity in here. This is by Danila. Hi Danila.
Yeah, they're really good. They are really good. Yeah.
Yep.
So surely, Remy, you're not agreeing with my choice of deployment zone then?
I am. I'm massively agreeing, and not only that, I'm filled with sadness right now. Because I'm like, wow, that's an awesome deployment, to be honest. And I'm like trying to find something that I can take advantage of, and I'm finding nothing. So yeah, it's looking really good right now, I have to admit.
Well,
did I say that out loud? Shit.
I am on a I am on a losing streak, you know. In this recent revamp of Essence games, I am 0-2 at the moment, having lost 1-0 in both of my games. So,
okay.
you know, the pressure's on you, I'm afraid.
I'm exactly 50-50. I think I've won one, lost one, and drawn one. So there we go.
Okay.
Pretty much, Mr. Average. She's an enemy.
Well, from the reports I've seen, you haven't been rolling average, so you know. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. You claim you don't roll high, but the stats would say otherwise.
Neither have my opponents, though. They've also been rolling well. So I don't know if you saw if you watched my cavalry charge with the Kingdom of Equitane, though, you might change your mind about my rolling.
Well, the beauty is the dice don't care what you've done in the past. That is the beauty of this game.
That's true. That's true. Isn't an enemy line of sight? D3 hits. Wound. Oh my god. Fate's Judgment is a bit of a mess, isn't it? That's a real problem.
Yeah.
Could be.
Sorry, I don't. Yeah, unfortunately, I played against UD once before in the old Quick Starter, and I think I lost that one, so I don't know very well. And also Highborn Elves are new to me, so sorry about this. I should have read the stats before I played, shouldn't I, since I have access to it all.
You're right.
But, you know, I figured out...
The one thing with Fate's Judgment, actually, as you mentioned that one in particular, is that in this version of the game, it doesn't bypass Aegis saves.
Right.
The full version bypasses Aegis saves, which means that the Flame Wardens would be particularly vulnerable to it.
Oh, right. Yeah,
in this version, fortunately for yourself, your Flame Wardens will get Aegis saves against it. So that's that's an interesting difference that I've just been checking up on.
I sees.
This is my tactic. I just try to confuse you with differences between the larger game and this game, and then you forget what you're doing in this game. So it's all part of the plan.
It is working.
Actually, Teo needs to tell me off, really, for keeping on mentioning the larger game, because I shouldn't be doing that, should I? I'm sorry.
You know, we can look at this in and of itself, but you should use every single weapon of psychological warfare, because you deserve that. Because I'm always asking for rerolls and stuff that in a way that doesn't favor you. So I'm never gonna.
Yeah, this thing you can't make me take a panic test, can you? So I don't care about panic. So,
is that the reason why you chose this army, man?
Absolutely, you can't make me take a panic test when I don't panic. 100% that is the reason.
Why am I having problems picking up? All right,
let's see if I can find out something.
I'm sure you will.
Find something inside.
Sure you will.
I'm having problems picking up my unit again here, Potato. I know it's working. I'm just worried that if that was... Last time this happened, it was a signifier of your computer not being very happy. So I'm a little bit nervous.
But I think that at this point, things are working well so far.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Why my Highborn Lancers are being a little pain to pick up and put down.
Okay.
Well, I've got them. I can get them sometimes. See, yeah, don't really like this. I don't think this is a great setup at all. And like, yeah, because you see the good. I think you've been. So I'll talk out loud. I think out loud here rather. Talk out loud. That's tends to be what people do. And I moved you Archer around accidentally. But like, I think the Archer unit. Oh, I've messed them all up. The Archer unit's kind of like.
I'll fix them if you like.
Yeah, the Archer unit's kind of the more vulnerable unit potentially, but you've positioned them quite cleverly there. That I can't really get any advantage for, you know.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. Indeed. So they can't march and shoot, but you could dance macabre and shoot though. I had that trick played on me. The one time I played against UD once before, and he did that, and I was like, oh, that's a bit annoying, isn't it? Oh, is that meant to be dropped to a 6-inch move, by the way? Is that an error on the card?
It will be dropped to a 6-inch move, so yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
But
start again.
Since exactly I have this reputation of being an anti-Hyper-G player, I suggest that we play it with the way it is written on the cards until we release the new word.
If it's going to be checked, if you want me to test 6 inches, then I'll test it 6 inches, it's fine.
I'm hopeless.
That's not a problem. I imagine that Remy won't let me get that spell off anyway, so, you know. Yeah,
well, it's hard to stop, but potentially it's hard to stop you, because the way these dice tend to work is like, if you really want to do one spell, it's very hard to stop it. So no matter what I think about it, you might be able to do it, but it's, yeah. Right, I think my setup is cack, but for the purposes of... What's this strange thing going on the stream?
Oh, you've seen that. All right, done.
Oh.
All right, gonna be silent.
Yeah, I don't like my setup, but I'm gonna go with it anyway and see if I can make it work. So,
okay.
Yeah, hang on. How far does your Dying Death spell go? 18, isn't it? Yeah, you're hard pressed to get that in range. So just a gentleman's agreement thing. I've put my archers a really annoying 28.1 inches away from your archers.
Yeah.
Right. I think I've measured that right, but you know, I'm just trying to be a jerk about it, just to mention it.
What you're trying to say is that if I find a way of managing to get them in range and shoot at your archers, then you'll
definitely
be very
cheating.
unhappy. Is what you're saying.
My intention is, you know, rule of intent and all that. If this was on a tabletop, I'd be saying it as well, just to make sure that that's the intention.
Yeah. Well, in the spirit of gentlemanly gaming, I agree. So,
great.
But of course, as I'm being a gentleman now, then you can let me get Dance Macabre off, and then it won't matter.
It'll happen, right? Turn one over to you, I reckon. I'll go with it.
Okay. All right.
Right. While you do movement.
Yeah,
good luck as well. I'm gonna go and get a bit of wine and a bit of cheese because that's the sort of thing I do.
No, fair enough.
Celebrate
back in 2 minutes.
Of the hostilities.
Celebrate the beginning.
This is also a good moment for me to disappear from the camera, I suppose, so that you can start looking at the dice. And actually, Hyper-G, if you want, you can use this time to do a little trick. I think that if in Tabletop Simulator you press P, the letter P on your keyboard, you can activate the top-down camera. And once you have this top-down view, you can press Control 1 on your keyboard. So if now you move the camera again by pressing P and going back to the third person.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I see it, yeah.
If you press Shift 1, you're going to be immediately back to the top view. That's quite practical when you want to move around.
Sorry, so you said before I do that, press Control something?
Control 1 is to save camera 1, and Shift 1 is to load camera 1. And you can do this with all the following cameras. So for example, I have a camera 1 and a camera 2. So this is for people who are watching the stream. A camera 3, a camera 4, camera 5, camera 6, and I even have a 7, which is a weird one, but you know. So just for you
once
to.
I've got the top-down camera, how do I go back to the normal camera?
You just move the mouse around, and you can press P, the letter P, if you want to be in third-person view.
Got it. Lovely. Okay.
I tend to use the WASD keys and like
So do I. Yeah.
right mouse angling stuff for the camera. And I've kind of got used to flying around like a lunatic with that. Kind of works all right for me.
Cool. Right.
So is that you magically got in range? No, good.
Yes, I have.
Cheers,
yeah.
Rob. Yeah, Lucky Six thinks I got the Highborn Elfie wine going. Definitely, yeah. Famous for my whining. So, yeah. Oh, I've already done something really stupid, haven't I? Never mind. It's all good.
So we're in the movement phase for the Undying Dynasties, and we've seen 4 inches forwards for the archers with the hierarch, but that's still 24.1 from the archers. So that's
they're going to smash my
sneaky
Flame
move.
Wardens.
I know,
Or he's going to do that cheeky spell that we talked about earlier, yeah.
That's why the Highborn get the reputation that they have, because their players know that every Highborn life is worth extra care. Who cares if a skeleton dies, you know, you raise it. So you don't play like this, but with your cute little elves, I mean, look how pretty they are. Look at that. With this Axel Rose style kind of hair. Oh, pretty. Anyway, I'll shut up.
You're not wrong.
Welcome to the jungle!
Oh, I've got this silly like wargaming music playlist, but it's not actually. It's all like sort of joke references as well. So like I've got there's a song I like that's called Line of Sight, so that's obviously straight in there. Just like I was just like, that's perfect. The lyric, we overcome the line of sight, and I'm just like, that's exactly what the Scorching Salvo does.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm not a fan of some of the magic in overall in Ninth Age. And Scorching Salvo is the kind of spell that really pees me off. I'd be like, what? Really, like, yeah. I noticed there's a big wine thread about Wrath of God at the moment as well.
What
On the forum.
In the Essence version or the?
No, in Fantasy Battles, yeah.
Oh right, okay. That's probably been around for a while, to be fair.
It's a new one. Apparently, it comes around about every year.
Yeah.
Which I could well believe.
Yeah, I mean, what's the why there's no such thing for Scorching Salvo? Why nobody is complaining about things being overpowered in Essence of War, you know, and crying to the scandal or how wrong things are.
Give me time.
I look forward to that, you know, that's a sign of...
All right, magic time, I think. So,
screenshot.
Yeah. Do a little bit of shuffling on my cards. I don't know if taking very nice to do that for me. Flip it over. 4 plays 2.
No, it's a good one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wrath of God is fine. Says Lucky Sixes. Depends how lucky you are, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we'll start off with Dance Macabre, 2 dice. On the skeletons.
Sweet.
It's a good roll.
2 dice. Oh. What else have you got? 8.
Only 1 spell, really.
8's Judgment. Which, well, I mean, I'm going to 2 dice, try it, and now 10 is ridiculous, but you never know, I might get even luckier. No. Oh well. Skeletons, off they go.
Yeah, interesting.
Skelly Bob
Okay.
archers, as we used to call them back in the day.
So
It's like
by both of our calculations, I only need to move 1 more inch forwards, and I'm in range.
yeah.
Um,
It's all gone
although,
terribly wrong, guys. A disaster. I'm going to flip the
may
board
not be the
and quit
case.
already.
And the back rank, maybe not so. Oh no, they are.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've been about an inch. Yeah, an inch should be if they're 20mm bases. So yeah, you should be all fine.
Yeah, because 20 mil is
Yeah.
not an inch, is it? It's less than an inch.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're happy, if we'll continue the
happy.
gentleman's discussion and say that they are all in range, then I will.
I'm
Stop there.
I am unhappy about it, but also in agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
In fact, the one on the left-hand side may still count. The back left, I'm not sure. Just check in.
So Lucky
Let's
Six is
see.
saying he doesn't like damage spells that can hit things you can't see, which is I agree with that. I mean, I think Scorching Salvo, for its overall kind of how it works and everything, is fine in Essence of War, and it's representative of the full game, which is kind of what we want. It's just that it's a very design of a spell for me that I'm not keen on, I have to admit. And I think but people were saying a Wrath of God can kind of target anywhere on the board in the full game. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas in Essence of War it can't, so that's pretty good. So basically, Essence of War's fixed all the problems. Not quite. But I say, Scorching Salvo is still pretty annoying because you've seen me. I did some very cheesy stuff with my Empire Wizard. With that, it's like dancing around a hill, and casting it, and not letting anyone see me. It's kind of like.
Right. Can I ask opinions on whether or not that moving the half an inch forward on the skeletons has meant they're not in cover or not? Because that's pretty close. Obviously, I want to stay in cover, but I think I might have made it so that more than half of them are outside of the forest in the front facing.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't mind take backs if you want to.
Oh yeah, I mean it's still part of the movement. I was hoping, so I was basically checking.
Yeah,
it.
totally.
I think
Totally
they're just out of the forest the way they are. So I think what I'll do is move them back that half an inch and go to the. I think
no
based
doubt
on
then,
that, yeah, I think based on that, I'll be losing 1 archer shot. Pretty close. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you'll have. Oh no, I'll let Potato, the master of this.
Yeah,
stuff,
I mean, obviously,
decide.
in the game, are you allowed to move less than half an inch, or is it restricted to a minimum of half inches?
Good point.
I'm sure I could creep forward like 0.2 to get them all in, while still remaining in the forest.
You can definitely drag the unit at whichever point you want. You don't have to use the. It's just a set movement distance that you can use with your numeric keypad, but you can
Okay, so if I've set it to 0.2.
I don't think that's gonna work. You can just drag them a tiny little bit behind.
Oh, okay.
And that will work.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If you maybe wield them, I don't know as well. I'll let you figure it out. I
I
know what you're trying to do anyway, so it's all going to work. I know it's going to work.
Cover and the last one still being within 24 inches, basically.
Yeah, totally.
Are we happy with that, or do you want me to creep forward a bit more?
That looks all right to me. That looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're in cover. So, yeah. Brilliant. And then it's
darn it.
Two dice, of course, on Fate's Judgment on your Flame Wardens.
Oh no!
Actually, no, that's not in range. No, that's
not in range. I don't think. Yeah, that's why I threw everything at it, even though you'd rolled a 10. Because I was like, I don't think anyone else is relevant.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I won't throw any more than. Actually, I should have. I actually risked. Had you. I thought you'd roll 2 dice at it to dispel it, actually. So Fate's Judgment wouldn't have been any good. But I'm more interested in cover than I am Fate's Judgment at this stage. So that's fine.
Like Six is saying in the chat that people always talk about the comet and stuff, but I have no clue what they're talking about because the last time I played Warhammer was mostly 4th edition. and so I don't know what that is. I played like 1 game or 2 games of 6th edition and decided it was bobbins. And then like I played like I read the rules for 7th edition and went, oh my god, you fixed none of the problems in this game, you idiot. So yeah, I wasn't much of a Warhammer person.
You say particularly that there's 2 shots on each chariot, is that right?
There's only 1 for each chariot.
Yeah,
so
I'm
they
afraid
have
they're absolute pinksters.
Yeah.
Alright, fair enough.
They're
Well,
not
I'll just
gonna
roll that
do
double
much.
5 again. So, skeleton
Are they going
chariot
at?
shooting flame wardens, I think.
I think that's the only target,
They're
yeah.
in range. Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah,
Sweet.
2 shots on the flame wardens, hitting on 5s as always. No, no good. So I'll follow up with the 9 on the 9 shots on the archers.
Tricky, yeah, go for it. Okay, I've got those 6 armor saves, they're going to need them. Let me know.
3 hits.
Mr. Average.
And roll to wound.
Can't get average on this, it's either one way or the other.
It's the 1.
6 up save. No.
1
Disaster.
permanently dead archer.
No,
He
it
is
was on the archers.
absolutely
My bad. Can you leave it there for a second?
permanently
That's
dead.
correct.
My
Sure, yeah.
bad. I positioned the
Didn't
crosses.
want to give a 5
wrong
up, 4 up
position.
save, so I thought I'd take the archers, yeah.
Yeah. Please go.
So Mark for Doom and Grave Calls in Occultism are mad, okay. So yeah, I've only experienced the spells in Essence of War really, so but I didn't like the sound of Wrath of God hitting anywhere on the board, even if it was, and I believe it's a lot more powerful in the full game as well, so I was a bit like, oh, that sounds a bit nasty to me. But it depends on you, obviously it depends on your taste with a lot of this stuff, and for me, kind of very powerful magic spells that aren't very interactive because of, I guess you can argue Wrath of God's interactive.
Yeah, I mean, you do get a turn or so to move away from it potentially.
Yeah, in the real game. It's just Scorching Salvo is one of the less interactive because I prefer things that need line of sight because your opponent can do more about it and respond. You know, not respond, but like, you know, they can play differently. You know, based on that knowledge. Whereas, like, especially even in this one, because you've got to go for the objective, you can't really avoid Wrath of God. You have to do what you did, which is put your character in the unit, right? Because pretty much your only option.
Oh yeah.
Right. Here we go. So, oh, is that it then? Sorry, I didn't ask you.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
Done.
turn.
Well done.
My
It's your
turn.
chance.
Is that it?
Right,
Is that all
everyone's
you got?
charging. Is that all you got, skeletons, eh? Skelly
Well,
bobs.
just bear in mind that is 1 permanently dead archer. You kill one of mine, and I'm bringing him right back.
So then.
I love that camera switch, particularly. That's really good.
So if you want, you can be in top view and then press the arrow down on your keyboard and then press S. And in this way, you should be in the position that you now see on the stream, in case you have the stream open. Essentially, I have my bottom left corner, bottom right corner, top right and top left. And you can save camera too.
Sure.
And then, you know.
Excellent. Yeah, I like that.
One. There you are. Sorry, no. It's on there. Forgot the movement controls are on. Crazy small.
Yeah, I think it changes for both players, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Three,
At least it wasn't still set at 0.2 inches.
5, 6.
Alright, I need to check that.
This
So
is
it is
18. 18 means that that's a 12 charge.
Chapti's a 12 charge.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think it's possible. I think it's 17.1.
Yeah, so that's 18. With a 12, they make it.
Oh, sorry, yeah, my maths was failing, as usual.
have to say though, although I haven't played Undying Dynasties properly, they're probably set to be my 6th army, or 7th army if you count the supplementary ones. So they are an army that I've got a particular interest in. So I do like their style and their
Do you have miniatures?
the
for
way
them, or do you
they
proxy
work.
them? I mean, back
I
in
have
the day.
I have 0 models. Yeah, 0 models for Undying Dynasties. I don't actually own any yet. But of course, being proxy table gaming, that's never actually something that holds us back.
It's not going to stop you. It's like this.
No. It's funny actually because as the channel has gone on, we do. I mean, obviously during the current situation, we're not battling on the tabletop at all. But as the years have gone on, proxy table gaming has been less about proxying and more about playing the models we've got. But we still have the ability to proxy, and that's still where we came from. So.
Are you thinking about rebranding?
No, never. I'm not a good enough painter for that.
Please don't. I mean, we got at the point where you start typing proxy into the search box for YouTube, and the auto completion gives you table gaming. It's like, that's how. Yeah, absolutely. That's how massive you've become. So
If only. No.
Sorry.
Oh, everyone all right? Hello. Heard issues in the chat then. Sorry, hang on, they're not moving. What am I doing? Yeah.
I think indeed.
So yeah, long range. It's line on 4s. It's not so good, is it?
Sorry, just dipped out there.
Oh, cool. That's all right. Yeah, I was just worried that something had broken. It's like.
No, for some reason, when I'm on these streams, Discord throws me out every now and again to come back in. But,
yeah, we lost you for a second.
I'm back.
Humdy ho.
Here they come.
Alright, I don't think the Shabty can see them.
Is it from the edge of the rectangle rather than the actual hill? Right. We're definitely that's what we do, isn't it? Yeah.
So
I think I was like 99% sure that was correct, but I thought it was always worth saying out loud just in case it's not.
It's a very good play, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to deal with. I've got all the terrain I've been building, and it's all like nice rounded edges and things, and it's going to be strange playing with that soon. They're in 8, 16 inches, so it needs an 8. Oh, that's a little bit. Let's go back one. Anyway.
Nearly group rate. Remembered their elves.
Like Sixes in the chat is suggesting that you don't have to worry about that. They just don't die.
It's true. Well, I mean,
eternal warriors. Oh, he's also pointing out that Hyper-G has lost the webcam connection when there was the accident.
Actually.
We want to see your face. That's what drives the views, Hyper-G. Nobody cares about the game.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about Tabletop Simulator.
That's all about me. Yeah, absolutely. I am real. I am not just a figment of Lucky Six's imagination. It's pretty wild in there, in that brain of his.
I want to see him sweating. Pretty cold in England right now, so I don't think many people are sweating very much.
I haven't got my heat on.
Yeah, me too, actually. I
Shiny
think he's
hair.
probably right. Let's give you a cheeky 8, and apparently they can't die. So.
Are you getting tips from Lucky Sixes on the sidelines? Are you?
I mean, they're open.
Oh,
he's
that's
openly.
a bit tasty, isn't it? It's a bit tasty. I didn't get any tips sent through to me, did I?
No, I mean,
know where his
he's
loyalty lies.
He's openly chatting in the stream. To be fair, it's free advice offered to everyone who wants to listen. Not sure about that, but if it all goes terribly wrong, will I be kicking myself? It's all happening on the chat since you guys get involved with the chat. See, this is interesting. Again, this kind of like still getting used to these charge mechanics of like 2 dicing stuff. See, it's really actually thinking more about the nuance of it. Like if I knew for certain what magic card I was going to get, this might actually affect what I was going to do now, because you don't know. You kind of got to play the odds, and it's quite interesting. Yeah, no, I'm going to stay. So it's a 9 on the dice for them.
Well, 9.
So I'm happy with that.
That's achievable, isn't it?
It's achievable, but you know it might put the.
As Lucky Sixes would say, it's for babies. 9s are for babies.
9's for babies.
9's an auto charge for him.
9's an auto charge, is it? I got you. Right, I think that's my movement. My archers are staying stoic, wanting some tasty 4s on their dice. There are only 9 of them left. Disappointing. But we go to the magic phase first. Shuffle those blue cards.
Oops. Careful there. You've been reshuffling the units of Wardens do.
Wow.
If the unit is in box selected, then what you see is that.
Who knew you could shuffle your models?
Earthquake. I'm pretty sure they're all dead, actually. So,
that's the only way Flame Wardens die.
So is that dangerous terrain tests all around, is it?
Absolutely, yeah. All failed.
Hey, I get to roll it, don't I? Aegis saved? No, nothing.
No, certainly not.
So I nearly, sorry, I could just tap about so much rubbish. Oh, it's a 3 plays 2. See, now I'm kind of glad I didn't go in closer, because I was like, I want to cast. There's like, I want every spell off, it would be great, but the chance of getting them all is so small. I'm going to 3 dice Scorching Salvo.
No, you could definitely get all 3 off.
Definitely, I can't get Noble Enemy off. It's not even possible. I could do it no, even Scorching Salvo needed an 8.
No, you couldn't. No.
I did try and roll a 7 on 1 dice in the last game, but
you
I didn't
get
it.
Dice to even get all of them off. Yeah.
3 dice Scorching.
Okay.
Oopsies.
It's a crap roll. This is not going well.
Well, there you go.
Double 6s!
That would have dispelled quite a lot of them.
This is why Lucky Sixes needs to give me the advice, because you've got his luck. So it's Lucky Sixes' luck versus his strategy.
If only that were true. If some of his luck permeated through to other people, then I definitely would have been the one who would have got it by now. But unfortunately, that's not the case.
So I've got 9 archers, which is perfect for the Roll-O-Matic, right? Which is exactly what I wanted. So hitting on 4s, I believe.
Who's your target?
I think it's
on your archers. Sorry.
Cover.
Oh,
cover and long range.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, no, I was doing it on your archers anyway. Yeah. So hitting on 5s, that's a terrible decision by me. Then I messed all that up. Forgot about the cover because I'm a fool. So 3 hit. Same as.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad.
So and then guess 4s to damage. 2 of them.
Yeah. Decent.
It's all right. Take that. Got a couple of armor saves though. Armor 1.
Yeah, I was just looking at the blue.
Yeah.
What have they got? Is it 6 up?
Yep, it is.
There you go.
Blimey heck, it's roll all around. Okay, well, try and raise him. Lucky Six saying you finally listened to roll better. That was his advice to you.
He's never told me that. Has he ever told me that? Is that the secret? Oh, okay.
Well, I have to say, I'm not liking any part of this battle so far. It's all going terribly wrong.
You have
Last
You'll
time I
be
played with
fine.
the Empire army, most of the enemy army was fleeing by this stage.
you've just traded pawns so far, right?
It's not much happening now.
So
Okay.
charges time. What do we have here?
Yeah.
We
Yeah, I've been
have-
looking at. Oh, sorry. Instantly, my wizard is supposed to not be on the hill, as I'm sure is obvious, but I believe he's not.
Yeah. That's
A
fine.
mage.
So this is an
So I
11,
hadn't actually zoomed in.
and this is a 9, and this is a 12.
Yes, we said it was a 17, didn't we? And a 9 for the Shabtis, is that right?
Yeah, it was a 9. Well, but I didn't. Yes, I think they're both 9s. They're charging the units in front of them.
What?
Sure, yeah.
Shaptis are 6,
Yeah.
so they need an 11, right?
Oh, hang
I
on.
think it's 17.1. I think that was when it was measured.
No, I see a 16.
No, it's closer.
Yeah.
It's 16 point. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you did an 11
17.
with the Shaptis,
Yeah.
and
Of course,
you
yeah.
need a 9.
Either way, I'm going to declare that charge. So, Shabtis
Shabtis
on the Lancers.
I will
Nice.
hold.
11. Baldy. What do you got to lose?
Can I control the map? No, I can't. I can't control the rulebook, by the way. I can skip to pages with the shortcut keys,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't flick turn pages. Just to let you know what's going on with that.
This is so strange.
Yeah, it's that old
So which
messing up the.
which page did you want to go? It's the update.
No, nothing in particular. I just thought I'd try it now because I always get confused with the sequence of events in the charge phase of. But I think I remembered it right. It's declare each one, and then I declare reactions each time, and
Yeah.
and then you roll them all, right? So
Yeah.
it's still his declaration phase, my responsiveness phase, as it were.
Yeah, so you should
Is the-
declare now whether you want to hold or not.
Yeah, I hold him. I hold him.
Cool, excellent. That is my
Yeah.
only charge.
Big hold. Oh, okay.
Okay. So, needing 11 then. Have I
Bring it
rolled
on.
that double 6 too early?
Maybe have you used the magic?
I have. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. 4 inches it
Trundle of
is.
4 then. Yeah.
Right, so particularly if you would watch this rather closely, because this is the stage where I usually
Yeah,
get
this
things
will
a
be
little bit
a dot
screwy.
select
So,
without grabbing, and then you press 9 to make a 1-inch wheel. And then I
Like
think
so.
that this is okay, right? We don't need more than this.
Yeah. so 1, 2, 3.
And that's it. Perfect.
Great.
Beautifully
Lovely.
executed, IBG.
Thank you. Well, with your guidance, of course. Which, of course, will leave a very easy 4, I think, for the Lancers.
Yeah, that's a 4.
Very
But
easy
those,
4.
Yeah, but those Shabtis are just muller them probably. They're a bit hard. They're a bit hard, mate.
Hard bones.
Right, on to remaining moves then. So I will just move the chariots.
Le Chariotto. Yeah, Potato knows I don't like the no aim modifiers rule as well for Undying Dynasties. I think that's like, again, it's not like its power level necessarily. It's like the non-interactivity of it, because it's like, well, normally you can use cover or something, but it's like, no, you can't do anything against them. It's like,
Yeah.
and also, did you know that your biggest friend is woods when you're Undying Dynasties?
Oh well, funnily enough, I found the woods.
Yeah, because you don't care about anything to do with them. I mean, you do, I guess, with you can take dangerous terrain. I guess that's the only thing. But because you don't care about steadfast, being in the wood is irrelevant for that, right? And then also you don't take cover penalties. So it's like you just want to fill the entire map with woods, just about, if you could.
Are we happy with that measurement? That both my chariots can shoot at your archers, 24 inches, or is that
sure,
just
yeah.
over?
Okay, yeah, okay, cheeky, okay.
You know, the point is that the Undying Dynasties, they have quite limited mobility. For example, marching if they are past 12 inches from the general, for example. And that means that your accurate positioning is going to become more difficult. So I think
I'll move a half an inch further forward.
I was about to say, you might need to be a tiny nudge.
Exactly.
But it's like
I
0.1
do
of an
agree.
inch. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I do agree, and it won't actually change the range that the Flame Wardens have
No.
got. They're still.
I was about to say, if it's easy
Yeah.
enough, it wouldn't actually matter, but yeah.
Yeah. No, great. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So we'll go to magic.
All right.
Take the screenshot of that.
Done.
Great. We'll go to magic. So what have we got this time? We got a big one.
Oh.
6 and 4.
So many choices.
Indeed. I will do 4 dice. No, let's do... Three dice on death is only the beginning on the skeletons.
Oh, you really don't like them dying, do you? For someone who's, I guess that's why they call them undead. Sorry.
There we go. Well, it's not high, but
Got
it's just
it.
high
It's got
enough.
it.
It's just high
I am gonna let you have that. Am I? Yeah, I'm gonna let you have that.
enough. Right.
Have your skeleton
shot
back.
For me then. Yeah. Is that something you can do quickly and easily, particularly, or
Control C,
to,
Control V.
Okay.
That's
Oh, he's back. Is he back? No, he's not yet.
Beauty.
Here we go. There he goes. He's back and he's already drawing back his bow.
For your next magic trick.
Of course, 3 dice on Fate's Judgment.
Oh, okay.
Who's it gonna be?
Who's the target?
Anyway.
Only one target, right?
I think anything's one in range. Yeah.
No, I'm just having a think actually.
Because it's 18 inches, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm having a little think about that.
I like the sound of this.
I'm going to change my mind and do 3 dice on Dance Macabre on my shanties.
Yeah, that's actually what I thought you were going to do.
Right.
So, darn it. Why did you have to think about these things? That's not fair, surely. Oh my god, it's
Decent
a
roll
13.
as well.
Well, everything's on that. 13, guys, come on.
Ooh,
Rolling
that's
is
harsh.
not happening today, is it? This is a disaster. Go on then. Macabre away in a dance fashion.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'll move then
That's-
3 inches backwards.
That's also my dance move in the goth clubs, by the way. So just to let you know. That's what they call me.
Alright. I'll take your word for that. I won't be seen in any club, let alone.
Oh, okay.
Giving it a full 7 now. Oof. Scary.
Yes, still very doable, but also very
Yeah,
favourable.
that's what I didn't want.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. It's just I can't roll 11 things still.
Dance Macabre is one of my favorite spells in Essence of War.
It is very good.
Okay, so we'll go over to shooting, and you know where it's all going.
I do, unfortunately. Do you want to roll them? Oh, you can't roll them all together because you've got too many guys to shoot in me now.
Yeah, so we'll start with 2 on the chariot. It's against charges, of course. And no,
Nope.
they're still missing.
Chariots
unfortunately.
still. It's because they're moving around too much. That's the problem. It's shaky
Oh,
on those
of course,
chariots.
cool. We'll follow up with 9 from the other unit. That is above average. That's 4.
4
hits.
of them, yeah.
So
Pikey.
roll to wound. It's 3
Oh
wounds.
god, no, my goodness. No armor saves. We're gonna need 1. Yeah, we get 1. Okay, so no panic test yet, but it's not looking good for our brave citizen archers. I mean, they're only citizens. They're not even fighters. They don't even want to be here. They're just like, why are we here?
Okay, and then it's over to you.
Yeah, 2 of 9. Yeah, okay. Right. No charges. But...
Or
maybe there is. Maybe there is.
Very quick decision, though. He's been sitting on that one, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've been trying to think ahead.
Think ahead. Are you mad?
What's that? Does she play orcs and goblins? What's that? It's playing in character.
So what turn is it? It's turn
2.
No, sorry, it's a 9.
Turn 2. What are you guys getting me? 10 next turn.
Right. 1 less than last time.
1 less than last time, yeah.
Well, it should be anyway, because I moved forward 4 and then moved back 3. So.
Okay, right. So no charges now. I'm sure of that now. And I need to do a jerk thing. So I'm sure I'm going to end up messing up this movement. Sure, it's going to happen.
Perfect.
It's not perfect.
Oh, somebody's very precise. All right, locked.
Yikes! Wow.
Is it locked?
Remind me not to upset you.
That's, as I said earlier, I'm a software tester, so it's all about the perfection. Let me do something silly. I want to see how this looks.
Woo!
Yeah,
Imposing.
I don't think they could. Right, so they can't get. Well, I'm not saying they can't. It's going to be difficult, which is what I figured. It was going to be difficult to get out of line of sight of the shafters if they move forward. No, I need to stop it now. Right, we're getting there. We're getting there.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9,
It's coming for me, isn't he?
and 10. Front. Both.
Now, these guys. There's 4 sidestep on your numpad. Yes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't get them further away from them, it just gives them some better rocks.
This still makes it 17, so it's an 11 again. You negate the 1 inch advantage they got before.
Yeah. Oh, I finally got it the wrong one. I was getting so good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Bold.
It's getting to the tricksy stage, is it?
I don't think they're going to go that far though. Because the problem is the Lemon Chariots have got a line of sight through the middle here. Unless I can do something. Oh, this is going to get really flippin' tricksy. So yeah, these need to flip. I should have marked these as well. Made the right balls of this. I'm really sorry.
All right. They can turn around and leave the battlefield if you want them to.
They're citizens after all, right? Don't want to be here.
Yeah, they need to go home and make the dinner, don't they?
So it was. They were 4 inches back from. I think they were another inch back, weren't they? Is that right?
Yeah,
It should be approximately 24 inches from my back shooter.
4.1, yeah.
Yeah, so I need to reposition my Flame Wardens because I'm trying to. Someone has to prepare the cheese and wine. I'm already on it. Don't worry, mate. I'm fully on it. Actually, I'm just going to pick them up and do it 'cause it's going to be quicker to put them back on. I don't like that. Whenever I want to zoom in, I use the mouse wheel and then that turns my unit, and I'm like, I know I want to zoom while I've got a unit held. Right, I have to be more careful about this because otherwise you've got a line of sight with those chariots to like sneak around my back. No one likes chariots sneaking up their backside.
There will still be a bit, you know, out of angle because the position tracker is going to interfere with the positioning. So don't worry about the fact that this dude is...
Yeah, cool. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And a half. Yep, they're out of arc. Oh, man. I feel like such a prick doing this, but it has to be done, doesn't it? Yeah, that's okay.
Not that it matters, you're on the hill, but
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not worried about being on the hill.
Not important. Yeah, you're still out and blocking the line of sight.
Yeah.
From the hill, and... Yeah,
that's 1, sorry. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I might just do that actually. Now after all that faff. If things go disastrously wrong, I like to give myself an out.
Never
Still a bit poor.
into a corner.
Yeah, it's that thing of like, well, I could go in but then if it all goes wrong, I've kind of put all my eggs in one basket, as it were. But I'm trying to figure out now, is that better just to screw it and just go for it anyway? Yeah. Only 6s. Do I even care? Not really.
Seven shots on 6 up. Let
me see. So they've gone 5 at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Okay. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'll leave them there, even though it's pretty pathetic. A couple of important things they have got within general range now. They aren't in a fleet path of those flame wardens, so the flame wardens get mullered, which is a possibility we have to entertain. And yeah, it's not fantastic, but you know, playing the odds is playing the hand we're dealt and all that. So yeah, I think I'm going to call that a movement phase.
All right.
And move swiftly on to the magic.
Oh, you've just
loving
sent
it.
your archers flying again.
Oh, not again. I'm sorry.
They're back in position.
What a disaster. I always get something screwy every game. So I've got 4 plays 2.
Oh, interesting.
Better than 3 plays 2.
Depends if you want 2 spells or not, really.
Does. I'd love 2 spells, but unfortunately the odds of getting 2 off is pretty poor. When you add it all up. Okay, oh no, I need to do some stats again. So what? How are these chariots? I need to do this chunky impact hits. Can't do anything about them. Agility is worse. Offensive skill, defense skill 3. Flame guys have 5s. They could get to 7 plays 3, which is relevant. That's pretty relevant.
2 and 5.
Well,
instead of 3 and 4s.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna. I don't believe I'm not casting. The whole thing has been about Scorching Salvo. Now I'm not gonna blimmin' cast it. I'm gonna 4 dice no 9 enemy.
Finally.
Because this is super relevant with these stats.
Spells are well chosen after all. Good.
Yeah, so it only matters against the archers and the chariots. But hey, guess what? The 2 things that can fight me. So Shabtis wouldn't really give much of an arse about the enemy, but they can't charge me this turn. So yeah, I'm going to 4 dice no night enemy on the flame wardens.
Okay.
And I actually make a roll. No, I can't. Still possible. You can recall that double 6s again.
It would be rude not to throw the dice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But they know ya.
All yours.
They see you and they know ya. Don't want to be ya.
Are we enemies? Are we truly enemies?
I don't know.
We could just share that middle area.
Highborn Elves would probably make friends with these guys, I reckon.
Nah, good trade deals.
Yeah. I quite like the both these armies. To be fair, I don't like undead. I generally hate them in everything because they're always cheesy and unfair. But I feel like the UD have got a bit of style, whereas like the vampire ones are just naff to me. I can't. It's like you're gonna have an army called like Vampire Covenant. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
But you've got barely any blooming vampires. I'm like, no, it should be an army of like vampires and werewolves and stuff. That'd be cool. But they're just another skeleton army.
There'll only be about 4 of them. They're so powerful.
Yeah, but I don't know. You have to have some weedy ones that.
They're a bit of prima donna as well. You can't have an army of 100 vampires. They're gonna be start bickering.
Over to you anyway.
Oh, is it? Oh gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
You marched with your archers.
Did he march?
Oh, sorry, no, I didn't march. I got 6s. Sorry, don't forget my 6s. Sorry, yeah, I need my lucky 6s. Sorry.
That's what I was holding on for.
Good point. Yeah. So 7 shots needing 6s, and the only thing they can see really is your archers. So it's pretty poor, but yeah, they might as well go for it since they've lined themselves. And that's why I didn't bother, because none of them hit.
I hope you didn't need that extra space to move forward in, because that was what waiting for, unfortunately.
We'll pretend that that didn't happen.
Okay. Oh, look,
Your
there's
turn.
a picture.
Sorry, I did all that too quick for Teo. He's like, no, you rolled your
That's
dice
fine.
and failed to
All
hit
done.
everything so quick.
You were so disgusted that you deleted the dice, did you?
They're not goblins, are they? They can't hit. They can't hit anything. Goblins would have massacred you by now. My goblin archers are flipping pros.
Big game. Charge time. Woo woo.
Yeah, okay.
Come and have a go.
Yeah,
Probably gonna.
we'll see. Just gonna have a little think. Just gonna have a little think. See what I
The
can
cheeky
do.
movement 5 on these elves is really good, actually. Being an orc player and being used to my trundling infantry and like not really being able to do anything really manoeuvring apart from your wolf guys, and then it's like, oh what? These have got 10-inch move. That's pretty mad.
You gotta get something back if you have resilience 3 all over the board, right?
It's true. It's true.
Some sort of payback.
Like sixes, I didn't deserve any sixes because I forgot about them. That's why it happened there. I think he might be right. So I like to point out, I may not have the camera on, which is incredibly rude, but I just can't deal with it. But I do have an icon at least. So you know, IPG doesn't have an icon.
You can. I can indeed give you an icon. Am I gonna activate the wrong camera? No, this is the right one. But it's gonna cover the cards if you.
Yeah,
check
no.
the screen.
I meant on the, you know, over where our names are on the turn count things.
So
Apparently, Lucky Sixes is your
Okay.
icon.
Right, there are no charges.
Oh, I knew it. Cowardly undead. Cowardly.
makes sense. Right.
So
It's all in on. You're all in those archer power, aren't you?
yeah, something like that. So we will go with the chariots first, I think.
Uh-oh. Markers
Setting
are
me a little
happening.
marker.
I can
Yeah,
see.
not by me. So.
It's all going to get really
Why?
technical.
Why is I think? Why is I think?
In fact, I'm just going to mark all my units now for next turn. I think it's gonna get really. You know, is it because I got no line enemy on? Is that what scared you?
No, actually.
Ah,
No.
darn it.
I think that they're scary enough on their own, even without the no-line.
They are pretty tough, aren't they?
Yeah.
So what happened? So I finally get in my. I'm going to talk about miniatures while you're doing your movement. Sorry, it's very rude. But I finally got my got in hold of Last Sword miniatures.
Oh,
So,
did you receive the arms?
Well, no, because I couldn't get hold of them, and like eventually I contacted them on email for like a week or whatever, and I hadn't heard anything. And then I saw them on Facebook, and I was like, all right, you're posting on Facebook, so I'm just going to give you some hassle. So what I did, I hassled him on the Book of Faces, and then he responded and went, oh, I'm really sorry. And they're really good actually. They said, oh, well, you've got free postage. Do you want to order anything else? And I was like, oh, you know, I was thinking about getting the Flame Warden models. I can't remember what they call them. They call them something similar.
That's a clever way to put it. That's,
Master of the Flame or something.
I'm sure they didn't do it on purpose, but if they did,
no,
that's
well.
sure
But then the weird thing was, right? So they've got a Kickstarter going with like a load more really like even nicer models, and I was like, oh, I might just wait and see if you produce those models. So I'm not sure. Basically, I was like, I'm not sure what I'm buying from you, so no, I'll just get the arms for now, because that's what I really want, is to get some arms to build some Imperial Guard.
So are they the one called? I mean, we have a tablet here.
Oh, you're gonna do it on the tablet, yeah.
Does this work? Oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm not interested. I mean, Hyperg's got this, so yeah, we'll just watch the tablet. It's not over yet, guys. Highborn Elves have finally cast a spell successfully. I'm sure now that I've successfully cast a spell, it's all going to go my way from now on. This movement is look at all this shenanigans. I don't blame you. I'd be doing exactly the same with this position.
Can't quite
It's just
see there.
yeah,
Can't quite
it's
see
annoying.
the border.
Yeah, you might have to drop them and then zoom in and then shuffle them a bit more. That's what I keep having to do.
Yeah, but that looks okay. Yeah.
Is that right?
Seems fair.
I mean, you got a lot of movement, so it's.
Yeah.
They don't look bad though, I have to say. They're quite pretty.
Which ones you looking at now?
Flame Keepers from Last Sword.
No, they're the new ones. Yeah, Flame Keepers.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are only available as STLs right now,
Fuerza
though.
motriz del blog y por quien el canto de las espadas existe. Astrel pinta y realiza las fotografías de estudio de las miniaturas y escenografía que os mostramos en el blog. I have no idea if I
what is it in
pronounced
Elvish?
any of that right. So, but this is the lords of the Flame Keepers, right? So this is not the unit, is it?
Ah, is this a? Oh, I see. So it's a
This
super
looks
art
like
dude.
the main guy.
Oh, I really like him.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, he's STL only right now. They don't produce him,
If I
unfortunately.
only do one, is that? No, of course, doesn't. If I only do this, also not.
Are you going to try and find the unit? No, the unit's in the main store. You can buy them as actual models for Luddites like me that don't have advanced printing options. I've only just bought myself a normal printer, let alone a 3D printer.
Alright, yeah. By the way, sorry guys for not showing what's going on with Hyper-G.
It's okay. Hyper-G is shuffling around his shabties and he's shuffling around his chariots, and it's all a bit shuffly undead time happening basically. But I did lots of shuffling, so I can't.
I only have to be a very small portion in the middle zone, don't I, in order to claim it?
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's legit.
So currently both of those units are claiming, correct?
Absolutely legit, yeah.
What's happening with the...
Chariots have gone.
Can you pick up the frame, please?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you can drop the frame now. All right.
The frame ended up on top of the model somehow.
Yeah.
Cast. Oh, he's cast an extra Raise the Dead for you now. Death is only the beginning.
Actually, I've just realised my entire game plan depended on something that I'm not allowed to do. Because I forgot that I'm not allowed to do it in Essence of War. Okay, right. That's annoying. Yeah.
Even without Teo trying to trick you.
See,
I know. Yeah.
The game itself.
Well.
The game itself has tricked you.
that's how unnecessary I am.
Yeah, I saved Pataglio from having to tell me that I can't do that. By remembering I can't do that.
So what? Oh no, you might. If you don't want to tell me, that's cool. By the way, I was intrigued, but
No, let me try and work out an alternative plan, and then I'll tell you what it was.
Okay.
Because yes, it changes things somewhat. So unfortunately, it does mean I'm going to have to move my chariots back again. Because of this game plan change, I'm afraid. Sorry about that.
That's alright, I'm just going to look at the tablet and look at models. Oh no, I've clicked a button that I didn't mean to click on the board. No, I haven't done anything bad. I haven't done anything bad, it's alright.
It's fine.
We're all good. So yeah, these are the they call them Dragon Guard.
Alright.
They're pretty sweet, and I'll probably get them one day because I think these are the best models for or Flame Wardens that I've seen. They're so much better than the GW trash. So that was a bit mean. They
look nice, yeah, indeed.
They look very cool.
So how?
Don't know how they rank up though.
And then there's a sword for the.
Yeah, you got like a champion and a musician, all the business. I think they're designed to rank up though, because I read like their blog and when they were making them, but I was like, you know what, I'm kind of intimidated. I shouldn't just order them now. I should wait. But yeah, I was looking at mages, elf mages, and I was like, there's so many actually. Probably need to update the library a bit because there's absolutely tons.
More work for you. Every time somebody releases a new thing, then you have not only to consider whether you're gonna buy them or not, you also have to update the library.
True. But I mean, at least I only normally care about orcs and goblins. But yeah, I might do a few. I might put in a few extra elf mages because I found some like I was a guy on my Flickr painting site was going, look at these Reaper ones, and I was like, they're really good actually. So yeah. So Last Sword do an elf mage, but he's a bit too traditional for my liking. I want something a bit different. Well, specifically, I'd like a female elf mage, basically. I think that'd be cool.
Antohammer has provided you with one.
Antohammer's got it sorted. I think maybe that's where the influence has come through. Actually, I've been watching this game and thinking, that'd be.
You don't need to put more plastic in this wood, paper, recyclable.
I'll probably buy a metal one, so it's okay. It's also recyclable. Kinda. Pewter recyclable? I want to guess what Hyper-G's secret plan was. I mean, people in the chat might know. It's a secret one.
Lucky
so
Sixes
secret.
will know what I wanted to do.
I see.
Guaranteed. I'll move 1 inch back with my archers so far, just so we know.
Okay.
And just to decide what I want them to achieve. I'll go another inch back. So I'll go the full 2 inches back. I think I've got 1 more inch on my chariots. So.
Because they don't march, do they? Well, I mean, they do march. They just don't get double move.
Yeah, tiny bit.
There's 10. You've got 10 march.
Yeah.
Weird. Craziness.
That is actually very annoying.
Chaff with the Lord, is that it? Yeah, running out with your Death Court Hierarch. That can definitely not be done.
Is that what he says?
That was his thinking.
Yeah, he is correct.
I see. Yeah, no, I was well aware that wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Zooming out.
I was planning to have my wizard stand in front of the Flame Wardens and thus make a desperate escape plan. But unfortunately, unable to achieve that.
Yeah. Otherwise, that salvo would have been down last turn. To be fair, my rolling of the salvo has been that poor. He'd have only been hit once, so we've probably been alright. But or you could have held him back in a different spot, I suppose. But yeah.
We'll go with magic. See what happens.
Okay.
Very nice positioning, like that.
Well,
supporting each other.
Maybe.
All
We shall
right.
see. It's a 5 versus 4 magic phase.
Oh, okay.
And you very kindly didn't kill any of my models last turn, so you've ruled
I
out
know,
one of my spells.
That was a good play, wasn't it? Still part of my plan. Don't kill anything, and then you can't cast a regeneration spell.
All right. What is he gonna be? Yeah. It's so annoying when you've positioned yourself quite nicely and then you have a dance macabre. You
Yeah.
use that. And then, nobody's dead and you can't use the other one. It's like, there you go, 5 dice. Well, Fate's Judgment needs line of sight.
It's tricky, this. Really tricky.
Shit, sorry. Accidentally
Okay.
made a tiny move of your chat. I was trying to get the guy line of sight marker off, but
I think it's because I put it on. There you go.
oh right, oh okay, cool. Right.
Yeah. You can turn it off if.
Oh, so we can
the other
both
player
turn it
did
on
it.
and off.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't
I
turn it
wouldn't.
off.
Oh, okay.
I can do it on that one, but not. Anyway, yeah. All of a load of weirdness. Just a little.
All right. I'll go toss on Dance Macabre.
Going how many dice?
1 dice on Dance Macabre.
1 dice Dance Macabre. Ah, he's faffed it.
Yeah.
Finally, it's all going my way now. The landslide
Arguably,
begins.
there wasn't much chance of getting it. Well, there was as much chance of rolling a 2 as there was rolling a... No, that's a load of rubbish. I was about to say something that was statistically incorrect, so I just stopped.
I once argued with a guy on the internet who reckoned it was something completely different. It was to do with like video games, but you're either going to win it or you're not. So therefore, it's like heads or tails, 50-50. So basically, everything was a 50-50 odds according to him. Because it either was or it wasn't.
That's a
It's like
vision
there are
of
two
the
types of
world.
people.
He was a visionary. It's like, it's a black
He was
and
a
white
visionary.
vision of the world. Is exactly what the new
Exactly, yeah.
social political environment has brought us. Either black or white. End of story.
Yeah.
No nuance.
There is only one target for Fate's Judgment, so obviously it's the Flame Wardens.
And it's the 4 dice there.
Ooh.
So I've got the 4
gotta
dice to
be.
try and stop that, haven't I? Might as well.
17.
All be 6s now.
Nope.
Rats.
Nope. So
Okay.
we have.
I'm really
D3
lucky
for
at
them,
dispels. How dare this occur? So rude.
So I will roll this D3 dice in the middle. Want me to move that to the unit? Take a dice so
If you
that
fancy it. Yeah, don't mind.
we can have it for Dipicky.
Oh, look at that, the 2 divination spells, ain't that pretty? Oh.
Here we go. Rolling.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
See what happens when you put
3
it in
for
the
3.
middle?
So it's all just armor
So-
saves, right? So they've got a lot of
Contagious,
armor,
yeah.
though. So 3 of them... This is my normal armor.
There you go.
So
Good
only
start.
1.
Wow.
And then one Aegis save. I'll do it on the white one. However, that's not so good.
Should have
So you
stuck
do
to the
get
blue one.
Yeah, the blue one's my lucky dice. I'm the blue team, aren't I? So, boom. 1 dead flame
Okay.
warden. I was told they couldn't die. I thought they were
Someone lied.
immortal. Immortal elves. This guy's just
Alright.
he's just depressed with the lockdown and had enough. Gone.
I'll go for the archer shots on your archers then. I believe I am back to 9 shots, so
Oh, really? Because of your little shuffly. Oh no, it's just your. No, sorry, I'm talking garbage. It's
Yeah,
So did your chariots need to march then? Sorry. Fairly relevant there. 3 shots, 3 hits. Sorry. Right?
I'm back. Am I back?
You're back. Hello.
We can hear you. Yes.
Okay.
Just lost type of G for a minute, yeah.
I kept on rolling dice, but I've gone in the chat. I'm back now. Sorry about that.
I wonder if it's your. Are you on Wi-Fi, by the way?
Yeah.
Because I get a load of trouble on my Wi-Fi when I'm doing heavy upload things, and this would be
Okay.
like heavier upload than you normally would do, because your voice going over the thing. I don't know.
Maybe. It's
So
only
anyway,
it's only when I do this though. I do quite a lot of online stuff. So, but anyway,
Oh yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
matter.
Sorry. Carry on.
Did you see the 9 dice rolled?
I did, and there was 3
hits. Did
yeah.
you see that?
Yep, yep.
Cool. So wounding on the force, just the one. That could be crucial.
Armor save. No.
Needed to kill 2 there. I wanted to kill 2 anyway.
I bet you did.
Never mind.
I'll say I did the best I could to get around that, but it wasn't very good, was it?
And then over to you.
What a cagey game it is! It's a cage fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
Okay.
That depends on what you do.
Right. So here's my question for the master of the rules.
Ooh, who's that?
Yeah, here goes.
Yeah. So can my Highborn Lancers get through this gap with Mr. Mage chaffing myself up beautifully and get into contact with these chariots?
So,
I reckon they probably can, and if it was on a tabletop, I could probably figure this out.
So you need a frontage of 5, right, for your unit?
Yeah.
So
there's a 6-inch gap between the Shabtis and the Mage.
But if you're looking at the stream, you have the perfect top-down view.
Yeah.
And you would see that this would be the best thing that you can do. So clearing just a tiny little amount of space next to the Shabtis. And so from here, then you have 2 inches down here, and then you have 2 inches down here. So they can be positioned there.
I thought they could.
Yeah. The issue is that you have to make sure that you impact
right on that
this
corner.
unit here with 80% of your first model. If you manage to position yourself in that way, so that this point here is the one that impacts here, then I think they fit. But
that's what I'd be doing, because I'd wheel round a little bit, like less than 90 degree, and then slam straight forward, hit. Like I don't know how to do the drawing thing, but
so it would be you wheeling up to here,
I'd hit,
and then once you're here, then you hit there in the front.
Yeah, that would be my goal.
It is a horrible thing because it's a bit in the super corner clipping case, and the entire chat is going to be rooting for the Shabtis to smash in the flank. But I think that technically it is possible. It's like,
Okay. Okay. I mean, I've got other options if it wasn't, and I might be taking those options anyway. So it was, but I kind of need to know that before I ever think about. But I'm going to change my thing to centimeters now. Right. Okay. Fixed it. I think. Yeah. So they're 13 away.
Oh, we lost Hyverg's video again. Zixis is complaining.
Sorry.
He wants to see you in trouble.
Oh, still here apparently. I think I am.
So the archers need it.
Thanks.
The archers definitely can't get in unless the mage also charges, I believe.
Stop giving him the lucky 6s. You're on my side.
Sorry, yeah. So my archers couldn't declare a charge at the moment because I think my mage will chaff them, unlike the Highborn Lancers to the chariots. That is.
Quick question then, Teglio. There's no shutting the door or anything like that in this. Like when you get into combat.
Not from the point of view of the defenders. The attackers do, though. However.
That's fine.
So the point is that this specific place, if you look at the Lancers, this point of this 80% of the base of the model to the extreme south would be the one that has to impact here. And if it impacts here at the corner, then it will flatten out in a way that it's going to be a bit less than this, and then that works.
I'm absolutely fine with that. Yeah.
Cool.
He's gonna get +1 combat resolution for charge, and you're gonna get +5 karma points. For combat resolution.
Hey, I don't think that's it's not a dodgy charge at all. It's, you know, simply.
It's okay.
I mean, well, it might be all good because if I charge my mage, it's all simple, right? Because then I just need to slam him in as well, and it'll all be easy. But my archers, I think they do chaff. I think the gap isn't big enough for my archers to get through, though.
Yeah.
Or is it?
If your mage charges, does that mean the lancers can't? Which would knock you up.
Because the lancers.
Because your mage is charging, you let your archers in.
Yeah.
And that would mean there's less space for your lancers.
Yeah.
So I'm
yeah, no, you're right.
not
You're
sure
right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good point. But
So
well,
that might not
here's
be a
the thing.
concern anyway.
No, well, maybe the archers can get in because if they hit like whoops, like there. I thought they'd be sliding into the mage, but I don't think they will. They're actually quite small frontage with 520 mil bases.
You need 4 inches, which you can see here.
Yeah,
So,
I think that's valid as well.
Yeah.
No.
The main issue is that as long as you hit them here, then you're fine because then it's going to be plus here. Of course, you're going to be like 0.1 inch away from the flame wardens.
Yeah, I know.
Which means more karma points anyway. And
Flame wardens could charge.
I mean,
am I being
Flame Wardens
heavy-handed?
Flame Wardens would love to charge something that they want to charge. Unfortunately, those stupid archers.
And the point is that you cannot charge with both the archers and the lancers, because if you have 5 inches, then you're hitting the others. So yeah, that's the.
Oh, can't I?
You wouldn't be able to complete with both. You could declare both, but you wouldn't be able to complete with both.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I meant. Because you see, that would be hitting them.
You could hedge your bets and declare both charges.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, aren't the lancers an auto win anyway? No, they need a 3.
Oh, you've said that now.
No, they're 10 point. No, I think they are. They're less than 11.
They are, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
So that's not relevant. So if the lancers are going in, then the archers aren't, is what we're kind of agreeing on. Well, I think I've been wrong-footed here. This has been great play, but I have to do it.
Have you not learned not to say that in turn 3? Essence of War changes so much.
It does. It can all
You
swing.
cannot predict, even with only 1 turn left for 1 player, the game can change. I know that. I've lost 1-0 twice.
Right, I see.
So
Everything.
So if my Flame Wardens went into the archers, what is the chances? I'd have to basically see. Victory zone is there. If they did muller them and reform, you need to. No, they've got. Actually no. Yeah, that's not so terrible. Not so terrible. Yeah. So right. Sorry about all this. There's been a lot of thinking going on, and talking.
That's all right. It means
that's the way I think.
Terrible if you have to think about it.
Oh, it was really good. I was like, oh crap, I didn't see that coming at all.
And that was based on the fact that I thought I could chaff your unit with my wizard as well. I had to quickly make a new plan.
It was a good plan, yeah.
You're going to be in much more trouble if I could have done that.
No, yeah, you're right. I definitely would.
But Partiglio, you must be very glad, Partiglio, that I realised that without you having to tell me. You would have seen me moving that wizard out, and you'd have been
like, "Oh man,
what's he doing? I've got to tell him."
That would have been funny.
You'd have quickly sent Lucky Sixes a message. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Quick.
Also because if I say I hate to have to say this, then nobody's gonna believe me. It's like, no, he's getting off on telling him that he cannot do that.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to. The Flame Wardens are going to try and charge the skeleton archers.
Woohoo!
It seems like I played by the rules. As I by the rules, particularly, will you let me have a stand and shoot?
Since we're playing by the rules of Essence of War, then no, because as you have seen from the latest article in the Crevenlands forum thread, we are talking about the Empire Handgunners, and one of the points, which is highlighted in blue for people who play fantasy battles and just want to see the differences with Essence of War, is that you don't have stand and shoot in here.
He gave me the formal answer to that one, didn't he?
He did.
I was expecting just a calm little, no, sorry, you can't do that. But no, I got quoted the rule book there.
I mean,
this guy is a lecturer, right? So it's
true,
just,
yeah.
You know, just
messing with that.
going to type.
All right, I'll shut up.
Okay.
And I'm considering the dubious. Yeah, I'll take your word for it that my archers can't fit in. I'm sure there's a way they can fit in somehow.
No, wait.
I'm not saying one way or another. They would be able to if the Flame Warden's charged.
If the Flame Warden charged, then absolutely yes, because you would line yourself from here to there. So that would work.
Well, let's screw it. Let's go for it, guys. Everyone apart from the mage is heading into action. Going into action.
So is it going to be an 8 for these guys?
Something
for the
like
archers?
an 8, yeah, I think
a
so.
5 for the wardens and a 3 for the...
Is it? I think it's only a 2. No, they're all 2. It's a 2. They're 11.5. Oh no, hang on.
That's...
A 10.7, yeah. Closest point.
So that's a 2. Okay.
Yeah, I put the 2 down to show it
bad.
for you. It's okay.
My bad.
I figured out what you're up to with those tokens. And there's no reactions, is there? Because these shambling undead, shambolic creatures can't do nothing about it. And although I'd love to send my mage into combat, because she is itching for a scrap, she's not going to, because if all this goes terribly pear-shaped, she's got to try and sort it out. Is the idea. So yeah, I'll roll the Flame Wardens first. Easy. I'll just move those, and it's pretty simple. I will slightly angle them down towards the objective-y things, if that's right. Something like that. It's not going to make a lot of difference, because basically it all comes down to whether I can muddle them in 2 combat rounds or not, really. But something like that, for the argument's sake. Trying to get this perfect. Yeah, there's no line of sights to worry about from anyone else. Yeah, something like that. And the Lancers are auto in, so I'll roll for my Citizen Archers. Come on, lads!
Needing an 8.
Blue dice and my lucky dice, definitely going to get it. Disaster. Not too bad. 3.
That's interesting, though.
4, something like that. Look valid. And then these guys are literally pick up and place. And I think we said zoom right in. It was all very shifty. Now I can't pick them up again. I don't know why I have problems picking up the Lancers only. Now we got them.
They have a small collider, so that means that your best choice is to grab the frame. Because otherwise,
You want to try and... Anyway,
so I think that what we meant
slightly further
is that this guy should be at... Oops. Oh.
Yeah, sorry, go for it. I need to shove him. I'm trying to get the maneuver, and
right.
That should be it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Exactamundo.
Okay.
Two big combats coming up.
Now I have to do, yeah. So I have to think about my old. What would the mage like to do? So many options. So many options.
Probably not that many options, actually.
So many options, Hyper G. Don't tell me anything otherwise. 6 attacks.
Psychological warfare. Bring it on.
Right, so Mrs. Mage, I'm gonna have to do some thinking here. Might want to do something. I know we've got the 1-inch rule, but if she did something cheesy like this, since I've lost all my karma already.
Yeah. That's confirmation.
See, an even and worse one.
Yeah.
Might be something like that. Because will that block them from swinging round?
Yes, it would, because the
It's an absolute jerk move.
Yeah.
When I am a jerk.
When executing the charge, there is no accommodation from the other player. So if you can't, you can't. It's detailed here in this part of the.
Yeah, no, that's what I figured.
Blocking
now,
the path. That's it.
If they then try and charge the mage instead, right?
Yeah, that's equally awful.
But we have to allow it, right?
No.
This is.
That will be the point. In fantasy battles, you would wheel with the Shaptis in this direction.
Yeah.
And then the mage would close the door towards you. But here we're just saying, if you can't complete the movement, you don't do that. Because otherwise there's this confusion, can I close the door, can you close the door? And in Essence of War, we just say, if you can't complete the charge, then you're out. This means that, you know, it looks a bit silly, but if the chariots kill 2 Highborn Lancers, that's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, it's all different. Yeah.
So, you know, it feels strange, but it still makes for some epic things happening during the game. So,
but as a playtesting point though,
yeah.
Could have I put the Shabtis in and they can't charge either of them position then?
Yeah.
Correct.
Which is absolutely busted. So that we definitely need to have not allow that. Because like you can do that with this happened in another game I know of, and it was all like a bit of a problem, and they had to fix the rules because you could create these situations where they couldn't charge anything, which I kind of really disagree with. That shouldn't be possible.
Well, you know, it's. I think that if you're playing with this level of tactical expertise, it means that either you're ready to play fantasy battles, or that you want to play Essence of War because it's a fast, smaller game, but you can still do crazy things like this. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
But please, Remy, don't do that when you're showing the game to somebody new for the first time. You can do this with IVG.
No. IVG, playing this smell. No, I don't. No, I love it.
As far as I'm
nothing against you at all, IVG. Sorry.
No, as far as I'm concerned, I don't disagree with what you're saying, Remy, in that if you left things exactly where they were, then my Shabtis cannot charge anything, and that is a disaster for my army in the sense of charging. Obviously, I am in the controlling zone still, so it's not a complete disaster in this scenario. However, obviously, if the defender, i.e., would have to be your mage, because I can't charge the lancers first. If the mage could close the door, then I could charge the mage, kill the mage, overrun into the lancers.
Yeah.
And that would be awesome for me. And that would be the
Right.
way the larger game worked.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm not actually going to say to the extent that I'd planned that, because that would suggest that I'd thought that far in advance and got a rule wrong in essence again. I hadn't. On this occasion I hadn't. Although I guess I was semi-thinking something along those lines when I asked earlier about who closes the door.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. That's there's question about the Death Cult hierarchy. Yeah.
Exactly. But by that time, it was your turn, of course. So obviously you just have to react to what you're in, really. But no, absolutely. From your point of view, I think not that your turn is over by any means. You can still move the mage at this point. But that seems like a good play. What you're trying to do there.
Okay.
Doesn't work. I'm not happy. I'm not overly happy with it.
No, I was.
You know?
What I was hoping to do was just force the Shabtis to charge the mage, which I'd rather you. And because that's why I was doing the maths on. Okay, assuming you could get 2 Shabtis in somehow, is the mage likely to die? And the answer is it's kind of a 50-50. And a bit better than a 50-50 because then she's probably taken a discipline check and all that business. So it's like, the odds on that she does die if 2 Shabtis can get in. And I was like, I wonder if I can make it so only 1 Shabti can get in though. and then we went to this stage of like, hang on a minute, maybe I can make it that nothing can get in. That's ridiculous. So, all right, gonna be a complete git. Since everyone's put the pressure on me and told me I have to win or I have to delete my YouTube channel, I think was the rules.
Is that what Lucky Sixes is suggesting?
I think that was Rob. I think that was RH World Building. It's like saying after my critiques of other people's tactics, if I lose, then I'm in trouble.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was just trying to make something interesting for YouTube. So I used to commentate.
You definitely did that. You got me watching. So
Yeah, they're some of my most watched videos on YouTube. Not total, but in terms of like speed of people watching, it was like. There's a couple of my old videos get like loads of views. Right, I'm doing it. Arsehole move with the mage. I mean, it all could go backfire on me.
Highborn Elves, so that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, they are just arseholes, aren't they? So.
Obviously, you'll be really gutted when my skeleton archers beat your flame wardens. So.
It could be a disaster. It could go horribly wrong. So actually, there's one thing I forgot to check, which is range of my spells. 18, yeah, perfectly positioned. Within 18 of everything, just how I wanted it. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. We'll go to the magic then. Flip it. 6 plays 4.
Options.
It's not really much of an option. I'm going to 5 dice. Truth of Time. On. This is a tricky decision, actually. No, it's not. On the Flame Wardens. I have to do this
Truth
first.
of Time.
Yeah, Truth of Time, 5 dice, Flame Wardens. I messed all this up in my last game and cast the Rot Within on the wrong target, and it didn't matter because I didn't roll well, but the spell didn't matter anyway because I got a really fortunate flank charge. But it was very dumb because it didn't make any difference. I spent all these dice
for the sake of fair play. Do you definitely mean Truth of Time?
Oh, sorry, you're right. No,
Know Thy Enemy?
I mean Know Thine Enemy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Truth of time is possibly not the best idea.
No, I don't want to overrun off the board. Thank you. No, I mean I can't do it.
Thank you, Hyper G, for
I mean,
not suggesting that
thank
I was
you, thank
implicitly
you.
suggesting that he cast the other spell.
I know. Yeah. I knew that particularly. I put the coins on Truth of Time because that and know thine enemy because that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, I
Mm.
want the thing that makes me guys fight better. Sorry, I got confused.
No,
Not
it's
the
fine.
fast. Not the,
I was desperate to say that before you rolled any dice, just to make sure. But even if you'd roll the dice, I would have been fine with you changing to the right spell. So,
You're just increasing the karma cliff, you know, the chasm between the two. It's like.
So yeah, I don't want the rocket up my bum spell. I want the power up my dude spell. So 5 dice.
Go for it.
Oh, they've been terrible. I've rolled so low.
Well, you know that 4 dice are coming.
Roll low, all ones.
There you go.
Flipping heck.
Yeah.
So I
Actually,
one
just
dice.
out of interest, that little token nearly made the dice roll over, didn't it? So yeah, might be worth
Wow.
You see
what was
that
it going to be? What was on the other side of it? I nearly got a 6 with that dice. It hit the token and it rolled back to a 5.
All right. Secretly playing against you, even when I'm positioning tokens. You believe that?
Yeah.
It's not really relevant. Don't know, it could go wrong. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth doing. I mean, I'm gonna.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna. 1 dice, truth of time. It doesn't need line of sight. Yeah, 24 inches.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a question of who it's worth putting it on, because it's not. If I was seriously considering putting it on one of your units, but because you can always choose not to pursue, it doesn't, and I don't think you would pursue me. It's not particularly relevant to do that really, because you're in the situation where you probably wouldn't want to pursue. So
You
I'm
have to
actually
choose
going
a
to put.
friendly unit anyway.
Oh, you can't do it. Oh,
Yeah.
good point. Right, 1 dice, 5 on the archers then. Simple on my archers. Definitely got it. Yeah, magic. This mage might have been an absolute jerk in her movements, but her spell casting ability is just, you know.
I was actually hoping that after all that nifty little movement, you might cast a Scorching Salvo and kill a Shabti for me so that I could charge everything again.
No, that would have been good. Yeah,
That would have been beautiful if you'd have done that.
that would have been good. Four hits and yeah. No, the odds. The odds are pretty low.
Honestly, the ensuring a flank charge from the archers would have been would have been a very good thing. But yeah, so nothing happening in the magic phase. Good. Nothing happening in the shooting phase either. And you guys just have to decide. Well, Remy has decided which unit is gonna deal blows first.
Let's go for the Highborn Lancers. It's not very relevant, I don't think. I do. Because there's no panic to consider because they're cheesy undead. And there's no overruns
cheesy
to consider.
undead. Where is your mage
Cheesy.
right now?
That's not cheesy.
Says the
I was just-
Highborn mage.
I mean, I was eating some very cheesy French cheese and playing the cheesiest move on the board, so I deserve it. So yeah, Lancers in the go, and I'm going to assume that I've got the better agility all the time because I'm cheaty elves. So 5 attacks hitting on 3s, I think.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should be
Wow.
3s and 3s, I believe.
Stuff hitting on 3s. I don't believe it ever happened to me before. 3 of them.
You'll be wounding on
And then
threes
strength.
as well.
5. Okay, so all of them. Ching, ching, ching.
That was important.
Look at that.
It
It's only
was.
Very
sixes
But they only got.
important.
for armor.
Oh, they've only got 3 hit points. Oh, and he only 6 on the armor. Oh, he does have some armor.
I need a 6.
How dare you have any armor? No armor for you, sir.
That's it. They're dead.
Delete 1, please. Well, you get to hit back,
Yeah.
but they are going to die. That's a good point. What a Lancers!
Well,
what a charge!
If I manage to wound you
Killed
twice
two,
with
yeah,
2
you-
attacks, then
You
then
guys
I
are going to
won't
have
be
a rank.
grumbling. So,
Are you sure? Rank and charge? Oh no, there's no rank. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
No rank.
Yeah, no, I was thinking. I don't know
But
why.
either way, the chances of me killing 2 with 2 rolls are very slim. So.
See my magic
4s.
spells though.
That's a good start.
Uh-oh.
Then 3s.
Oh.
Mm.
And then an armor save.
Then
of
3s
4 up,
again.
is it?
AP
Is
1.
it 3 up armor?
So it's 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, better than that, yeah.
Let's get one though.
Hmm.
So I'll delete this guy just because it makes it even clearer that. Or does it? Hang on. Hang on. Hang on a minute. I'll delete this guy.
You're okay, you're okay. Depends what you do, of course. Because you are crumbling me, so
That's a good point. I have to consider this.
you're 4-1 up now, and you will crumble me, so
I didn't. Yeah,
where are you gonna stop?
this crumbling rules is crazy. I'm not used to this. I've obviously considered the advantages of it in the past, but I've never considered there's a small disadvantage here, and I can predict how it's going to go in the combat risk, can't I? Very interesting point. Yeah, we'll just delete that guy because I can't be bothered to think about it.
That was your wounding roll that did it, 3 out of 3.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. I mean,
If anything, you know, the hits were there or thereabouts average, but the wounding 3 out of 3 was what did it.
Suspect their average
even if
wounds
you
is around
fail one of them.
2.6 or something, so it's like, yeah. It's not far off. It's slightly lucky, like you say. Sure.
But then me killing one of yours with 2 attacks is also very lucky. So
It's sort of Okay. We're gonna do that. Unfortunately, this is gonna end up resolving the problem of my mage because I didn't like that anyway. So I'm gonna just delete that guy. Do we do this? Do we do this combat res now before we do the other combat?
Yeah. I crumble first. Yeah. So you.
So they crumble. So do I get to overrun or reform? Is that right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to choose to overrun. Never done an overrun before. This is very exciting.
Happy for that unit to be deleted, so you go?
Yes, you can go on.
Yes. Delete the chariots.
Thank you.
Beautiful. So I will overrun, and this will solve all the sneaky problems with my cheesy movement as well. So here's my overrun roll, which is 2d6. Is that right? Bloody hell, guys! Calm the flip down. Please calm down. So yeah, over here they come. So it turns out, they've gone 1 inch too far. You absolute absolute bellends. You were doing so well. Why did they not do that? Oh well, I've sacrificed my mage possibly here.
They were
Depends on what you
learning
want to
about
do.
the crumbling, you know.
I honestly am. I've only played against it once, as I say.
No,
so
I mean the
it's
Lancers
very...
as well, you know. That's
the Lancers, yeah.
They were also surprised.
Like their Grand Commander Remy doesn't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. Right, so over here, agility-wise, the Death Cult Hierarch is also 2, and the Archers are 2. The Archers are slightly tougher to kill, but on the end, it doesn't really matter because the armor. I've got AP, and they've got armor 1. So the question is, how many attacks to send on that cheeky Hierarch? The answer is, maximum I can put into the Hierarch. Oh, actually,
That'll be 6.
possibly there's some that have to. I think 2 of them have to hit the Hierarch.
Yes.
Is there?
There's no swirling melee in Sons of War.
Thank you. Yeah, fair enough.
I didn't get Lumin spell off because I can't roll spells to die for some reason. So it's hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. Since I got my 3 wounds off 5 attacks last time. Do I put 6 or 5 is the question. Answers in the chat, please.
I think I know what I'd do, but I'm not telling you.
No, you can tell me afterwards. You can tell me afterwards. I think I'm going to put 6 attacks as max I can on the Hierarch. and 4 attacks on the normal dudes. Which might waste me a hit, but I'm willing to do it because they've got you stupid bring the guys back spell, which is what I don't like right now. So yeah, 6 attacks on the hierarch. I'll roll those first. So hitting on 3s.
Good start.
5 of them. And then we need at least 3 3s. Get the damage, and we just got it. I don't think there's any armor. Yeah.
No.
Is that what you would have done, Happy?
Is that what you had done? 6 says Lucky 6. I didn't see that until now, so he didn't have any influence on me.
Do you go for rank or do you go for spells?
I think, to be honest with you, the dice have made that a good decision. But I think it was possibly quite risky.
I could have wasted a hit. But...
Not that. I think if you leave him on 1 wound, you basically don't achieve anything. And
that's kind of a point. Yeah,
I've got a lot of archers left to survive the next combat.
That is a very good point.
I personally, and Lucky 6 is more than likely to contradict me in the chat. Personally, I would have killed as many archers as possible at this stage.
Okay. Well, I'll kill 4 more. Don't worry. Here we go. 4 of them. They're all going to hit.
Absolutely. Like,
they're all going to hit.
If you kill 4 more, then it doesn't matter.
And they're all going to kill. No, 3 of them. And you've got... No, you don't have any armor. So they needed 3s. Oh, no, they're 2s. Oh, no, they're strength 4. No, I needed 3s. Sorry. I forgot they're strength 4. I don't know why I forgot that all of a sudden.
Right, let's try and get... Oh, are you doing it?
So, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I can help with that.
Thank
so
you.
There's 1 dude in the last rank now.
Okay,
oh, wow.
Even with the one that is now taking the place of the...
These elves are pretty good at the old fighting now, aren't they? Blimey,
yeah. So
my
6
orcs never roll like this. My orcs win on combat resolution and nothing else. That's like the only way I win is getting like massive amounts of ranks and flanks and stuff. Oh, 3 of them?
So 3 hits.
Yep.
3 wounds.
3 wounds. So no AP though?
No.
Okay, so 3 5-up regular saves. Yep, 1 of them. And then 2 4-up Aegis saves. Yeah, 1 of them, so 1 dies.
Very good.
So gradually, they've killed 1 at shooting and 1 in melee, so, you know. Now, crumble diddly-oso.
Yeah. A lot.
How much? So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to me?
100%, yeah, they're gone.
Plays, wow, have they wiped blooming heck? I was like, they need 2 turns to wipe them, will they do it? And no, they need 1.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Happy for me to delete Potato, or are you taking bits?
Thanks for asking, just give me 1 sec.
Yeah, no worries. No
Combat res would have killed him, says
go.
Lucky 60s. That's a good point, because the hits go on to... Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
You can go.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
So, if you're taking that I can't remember how the crumble rule works. If you were taking that crumble rule, and like, you could choose whether you hit him or a guy, could you? I assume.
It would hit the unit until there are
until
no unit
he has to go last, does he? Yeah. And then it goes on to him. Right. Yeah. Okay.
But in terms of Essence of War, the character no good to me in terms of claiming anything. Not that there would be much chance of me getting the unit there now anyway. But yeah, just of course, you know, it's worked out absolutely fine for you, and you've smashed them by quite a long way. So it's not for me to say that you've made a mistake, because you clearly haven't. You've done exactly what you wanted to. And I think either way, the dice hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, whether you're attacking the skeletons or the wizard, means things are probably going to go your way anyway there. But
yeah, you know, it was very, very in their favour, wasn't it? Actually, I'm honestly surprised how good they were. So I've rotated them 180 exactly.
You'll be absolutely fine.
So they can't. I was like really worried I couldn't get round my own blooming Highborn Lancers, but it looks like I can.
Fine. Yeah, you're on for at least a 3-1, I would say.
Well, hang on. Oh no, because I was thinking, how can I get my Lancers back in the zone? But they can move backwards. I just remembered that. trotting back. I was thinking I have to reform and then turn. And like, no. Or they could do the stupid big wheelie move out in a massive semicircle.
But
just
even just pivoting
backward
would
trot.
be enough. You know.
Yeah, backwards
Even
trot
just-
will be fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
That was a
I think this hill.
rich turn.
Hill. No magic.
Yeah.
But by God, the combat. By God.
Mm.
Guys are stupid. Overpowered as well. So we've ascertained. Why is the Dark Gods overpowered? Beast Herd's
Cool, well-
overpowered.
In terms of my turn, there isn't any chance of victory at this stage. So
Go for insult.
what can you do if you can't get victory? You go for revenge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will sacrifice. I mean, as shameful as it would be to lose 3-0, which is what it will be.
I don't think. Well, I tend to be that kind of player that it's like a 3-1 or a 3-2 or a 1-0 is as good as a 3-0. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's all about the result.
Yeah,
you know what I
absolutely.
mean? That's
Absolutely.
my opinion.
I think.
I mean,
for the sake of the crowd watching the gladiators, I will declare the charge. The shove
on the mage.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
she's gonna
run
gonna
away.
stand and fight. No, she's gonna stand and fight because she's definitely gonna take. Well, I say I think it's 50-50 odds. Well, greater than 50-50 odds she dies, but and she'll definitely die next. She'll definitely die next turn. The only reason to run would be a panic thing. Actually, I should run. Do you know why? See, I don't think you've got any. I don't think you've got any. No, you've got no redirects, and it'll make sure it pulls you out of the zone. Because if you go straight forward, no, you'd have to wheel around and fight it, wouldn't you? Because of the maximize.
Don't overthink it. I'm coming.
I'm overthinking it. I'm overthinking it. I'm sorry.
I'm
No,
sacrificing a 3-1
No,
loss for a 3-0 loss, so don't worry about
No,
it.
okay, go in. No,
It's just
It-
whether
it
your
was-
mage survives.
Yeah, no, it was purely on the playtesting front of like, yeah, go for it, go for it. She'll stand her ground and fight.
Cool. Well, move in. We're confident, everybody, that I can wheel to get 2 in, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rather than me actually playing it out, I'll just pick them up and move them. Yeah.
Definitely.
yeah, totally. Well, that was my. So they can stay in the zone. Oh no, they can't quite. That was what I was thinking. I was like, should I run to make sure they get out of the zone?
Yeah. No, I wasn't quite sure whether I would or wouldn't, but either way,
saying-
I was doing the charge for the crowd, so it's all good.
saying the scores don't matter, and now I'm like, oh, I must win one.
Pivot might, Pythagoras might still be on your side. Who knows?
Yeah, there may be a very small corner that I could
Right.
wheel in, but
Might be.
either way,
Let's see.
I'd still have to kill her. So we'll go straight to that because there is no shooting, there is no magic. So
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, so you're agility 5. You're first.
oh shit. Okay. Who'd have thought that? Thought she got one attack, hitting on a 4. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she goes with a mighty 3.
Oh,
That's
wow.
why. Okay, that's why my elves have been working so well because I'm really good at rolling 3s. That seems to be what it is. That's why my orcs and goblins hit nothing. Proud love it, says Lucky Sixes. Is very impressed with
No,
your.
good man, good man.
So you've got 6 attacks, right? Hitting
Yeah,
on 4s.
hitting on
This is what I
4s.
figured out. Yeah. Have you got my goblin skills of not hitting anything?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
She's alive.
Oh.
Well, she might
She's
not be.
alive.
We'll see. 2 wounds though.
Oh, true.
So she
I mean, either
loses
way, I'm
by
chasing that,
3. Loses by 3. Gonna make my discipline check.
Oh,
He's so
beautiful,
brave. Not running. And
Nice.
my turn's just gonna be mop up because I can't actually. Even if I wanted to go and be a hero and try and save her, I can't.
I'm right in thinking, Teglio, that for the sake of my full revenge, I can't change to a 2x1 formation.
No,
To get more attacks on her
unfortunately-
next turn.
Formations are fixed, sadly.
Yeah,
Once
I knew
again,
the answer.
Essence of War doesn't come to
Oh,
in your
yeah,
assistance.
Does me over. Does me over.
So no charges. Whoa!
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't move that far
None
back.
of the archers in.
Sorry.
Just send the archers in. They wanted the combat.
They
Archers
can't
want combat.
see. I can't do it. That's the
I'll let
problem.
you off. I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it.
I was thinking about it. I was like, no, they can't even declare it. There's the blooming hills in the way. So they'll just shuffle back a little bit to get in the zone, but not get within 6 inches of the mage in case, yeah. And then these guys will go 1, 2.
Single
Wrong
tear
one again.
running down my face
3,
at the moment.
4, 5, 6. And these guys did actually. So I was trying to get these guys. Obviously, that failed charge would have been better if they'd gone in, but like it was still all right because I was like, make sure they stay within movement.
I actually, I think obviously if you'd have killed a chariot and the archers had been in, then I would have been attacking the archers instead of the lancers. So actually, the archers not being in.
Yeah.
Although they'd have added a flat charge, I may have added more chance of killing 2 archers and reversing that extra combat res you got.
Yeah.
But the flank bonus.
You'd have been wounding me on 5s, and I'd have had 4 up armor against them.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that 6 archers would have been able to do much in combat. So had the archers gone in, yes, they would have got the flank charge to add. But I think, obviously, it's all dice dependent. I may have had a better chance of killing archers and getting better combat res.
Yeah.
But obviously, you killed a chariot with 5 of your lancers, so that made it very hard for me to win, irrespective.
No, but this is important because it would have been very nice for the archers to charge not on the turn where the knights are charging. So the point is that if the knights are stuck in combat, then they're not going to wound. Strength 3 only. No, exactly. Yeah. 4 attacks. Yeah. Now it would have been a great idea. Exactly. So they're having the spell later on, that would have been great, but charging on the same turn, then it would have meant. At the same time, you would have only had like 2 attacks going on them. So on
and also
side,
actually, if you had have charged in this turn, the lancers wouldn't have been doing any wounds to my chariots, and I could have then killed the archers. So maybe they need to stay out of that altogether, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. You might be right. I'm probably thinking a lot of kind of orc and goblin thing, and I'm kind of used to my guys doing absolutely sod all, and they're mostly there just to give the combat static res bonuses, So, like, yeah, I wasn't considering how actually good these lancers were, and like, yeah. So I've got
go for it.
I've got the 7.
I was going to say none of my tips or advice or anything matters at all because I have lost 3-0. So ignore.
No, I don't believe so. There's a lot of luck and springiness in this game, as you say. Like especially in Essence of War. I do honestly think you could play. I mean, it's probably the case in 9th Stage anyway. But I imagine you could play like on paper the perfect game and still lose quite probably more often. Yeah. I'm not saying it wouldn't help. Like I mean, you should have a greater chance of winning, but you can never guarantee anything in this game because there's just too many dice rolls. Well, that's kind of what I'm saying, I guess.
Absolutely, you got a big magic phase for 1 spell.
Yeah, I'm gonna 5 dice known 9 enemy on myself, and I've called the right spell now.
I should have let you cast Truth of Time.
Yeah, I know.
To be fair,
I didn't get it off anyway. Yeah, it didn't matter, did it? So I'd have been a right egg on my face though. So yeah, can she blow herself up? That would be a great way to do this. Still only rolled a 17. That's actually okay. Sorry, I'll shut up. I'm not whining about that. 11. She's got no that enemy off on herself.
She's a beast. And
then I've got 3 dice left. So, I mean, I'll just do Truth of Time on herself as well, I guess. Because why not?
Give her a chance of running away.
I mean, there's a chance of getting a triple, but I didn't get it.
To be fair, if she doesn't take a wound, she won't be running away. So.
There we go. She's got all the powers now. Come on, mage, do this for me. Do this for me. Is it a 2 to hit? I think it might be. Oh no, 6 plays. No, she's not.
It's still 6-4, yeah.
Oh, what a waste of time she is. What a stupid mage. Gets the hit though.
She's not listening to you.
Gets the hit. Gets that.
There you go.
Oh my god. Gets the wound. Come on. Just gonna muller them all by herself. Oh,
Stop tickling me. Stop tickling.
disaster. Super mage. Now we've got another spam
Mage mash. Mage puree.
Sorry. I'll just move that dice a bit quick there. Sorry. So 6 dice back at you.
Oh.
On
Not looking
4s.
too healthy.
3. On 2s.
3
2
hits.
wounds.
Mr. Wayne, goodness me. Yep, she's a massacred. All those beautiful spells. She finally cast some spells in turn 4. I mean, and I guess there was one relevant spell because I did get. Although you said it wasn't the fact they had Truth of Time on the. No, enemy on. Sorry, I'll get the right way around. I kind of.
No, although having said that, of course, that was only not relevant because of my plan to move my wizard in the way of you, which I couldn't do. So actually, because I had that plan even during your turn before, I should have played your entire turn differently, based on knowing the right rules. So, but no, it's all good. Right, so yeah, what Pateglio was trying to say is, can I rotate this unit to be like so and get them in?
Man.
It's pretty close, but I think they're out.
Yeah, I can see some green.
The Nudgerino. This is like, if any of you guys watch American football, this is like the can you see some green grass before the out of the sidelines, or the white line for the end zone.
Can I do a half-inch one to see if it? I mean, I don't think that does it anyway, does it?
So this is just, let me show you something. If you press F8 on your keyboards.
Well, with them highlighted or without them highlighted?
You can box select the entire thing and then go with F8. And then you click on the frame.
Oh yeah, rotate.
Then if you press F8 again, or if you're using the menu, you can use the rotation gizmo. But if you press F8 again, then you will have this sphere that shows, and then you can grab the green circle and rotate it around.
Oh my goodness!
And see
this is
if
complicated.
That is changing anything.
How about I defer that to you and you have a go at it?
All right, then you can check in the.
A lot of very weird menus came up, but yeah.
Later on in the stream, you can check how this works. So now I'm grabbing the green rotation thing, and I am. Ooh, wait, sorry, that's the wrong one. Sorry.
I'm more than happy to say it's 3-0. Well done, Remy. So don't worry about this too much. You know, for the sake of a 3-1, like you say. Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah.
So basically, my good rolling on the Lancers turned out to be absolutely critical, didn't it?
That's as close as I can get.
Yeah, I mean, even if the skeleton chariots survived with 1 wound, it's a very different last turn.
Yeah.
But having said that, the Shabtis were not able to help. So, you know, yeah, I think really it was probably a moot point anyway, because the Shabtis were chaffed and they couldn't do any charges.
Yeah.
So the Lancers probably would have killed the chariots anyway in the next turn, even without high strength.
Oh, well, it would have been tough.
Depends how well they did on that first combat, isn't it? They did very well. Well, they did just enough. But if they did 2 less wounds, then it could have been a bit risky. So.
Yeah, if they'd really fluffed their rolls, it would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
Which was my thinking of trying to send the archers in at the same time.
Yeah, well, when you only hit 3 times out of 5 on your first roll, I thought there's a chance.
Yeah.
But obviously, then you wounded 3 times out of 3, and I didn't save any arms.
Didn't get a single 6. Yeah.
You know, I needed to summon my inner lucky sixes. Triple
lucky
the armor
sixes was supposed to help you, wasn't he? That was the problem.
No chance.
Didn't
of that.
help.
No chance.
That never happens.
No.
That just never happens.
No.
I guess what this means is though I'm going to have to buy an elf troll now, aren't I, and paint it.
I think just elven cheese will do for your final chaffing.
Some elven cheese. I've only got. I mean, I've got some French brie. Is that probably what elves would eat? I reckon.
Probably quite close. Yeah.
I had some French Comté earlier, so that was what I was eating during with the
Good stuff. Enjoyable, well played. You deserve the victory. Dice, whatever, but no, it was a well played victory.
I think it was. I don't know what your sort of plan was, because I always kind of like. Obviously, I think it felt like both.
What was your plan? What were you doing?
Let me say this right, because it felt like both of us were trying to keep the other guy's mega unit out of the fight. You know what I mean? I thought you were trying to make sure my flame wardens couldn't really get into a fight, and I was sort of trying to make sure your shabties couldn't get into a fight.
Yeah, I was trying to draw your flame wardens out of the combat zone at the critical time. Obviously, if they'd have failed that charge on the archers, that would have been fantastic for me, because I think then you would have just not charged them. You'd have just turned around and moved back into the deployment into the central zone.
And then you could have charged in the rear in the last turn and maybe got some action there.
Yeah, it all hinged on that Lancer versus Chariot charge, and I took a risk getting so close. Like, there wasn't even a charge roll for the Lancers to get into the Chariots, which I knew, and that was a big risk. But I just needed them to not die, the Chariots, really.
Gotcha, yeah.
I think my error with the defender doesn't wheel, doesn't close the door.
Mm-hmm.
In hindsight, that's playing the game a bit differently, and not being able to move the wizard out. But if you go back to the first game I had with Rob, there's a discussion online for everyone to see. I check with Pataglio, can my character come out of my unit later in the game? And Pataglio quite rightly says, no, he can't. So it's online for everyone to see. I knew that rule, I had just forgotten it. The trouble I had was I only remembered that at the start of my own, or midway through the turn when I was going to do it, instead of during your turn when I was reacting in the way and thinking I could do it. But no, it's all good. It's all good. It's a game of remembering, as Statrat once said.
Is that what I said? Ah.
And the differential with the fact of the impossibility of closing the door as a defender, that's yet another level. I mean, even if you didn't have it in mind from the beginning, that's important. But that's the kind of thing that allows you to, only fit in 5 lines, the rules for the impossible charge. And,
I think...
I think that for somebody who doesn't play fantasy battles, it's only an advantage. There's only an advantage that you don't know about the possibility of the removing the other thing. So once again, it's one of these cases when it's the differences in the rules. They're tiny, but they're leveling the playing field between the people who play the big game, and every now and then they let's say downgrade to the smaller one, even by having more experience. So yeah,
I utterly refuse to blame the Essence of War rules on why I've just lost that game. No, I wouldn't ever do that. I've lost that game because I've not played it correctly. Simple as that. And then the dice, obviously, but I'm not blaming the dice either. I didn't choose the right tactic there. So simple as that. Good game, and you played it well. So well done.
Yes, cheers.
Remy,
Those chariots aren't as hard as they look, because that's the thing. I thought they were a bit tougher than they were. And I was like, actually,
obviously, another thing was I was hoping you charged them earlier and failed, and I got a counter charge. Because if that happens, I win the game. Simple as that. But you chose not to charge, so
I just pushed in right in front of them with the flame wardens for that reason, because I was like, I'm not messing about with my cavalry. Cannot afford to. I was willing to give you the 11s and then even a 9 maybe. Well, actually, no, I only gave you 11, didn't I? And then a 10 potentially.
Yeah, I could have had another 11 in turn 2, which turn 3, I think I turned down at 11 in order to move forward instead. But I think that was the point when I was hoping to chat with my wizard. So,
yeah. Oh, no props, no cool.
By that charge phase. So.
No, it's been good. It's been good chatting with you as well. To be honest, good to meet you and everything.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
I loved it.
Yeah, I look forward to the tactical video on your channel.
Oh, it's a good. Well, I'll see if it didn't have any crashes this time, so I assume that the screenshots have worked this time.
Yeah, screenshots are fine. I can send you both the archive. I think that the video is going to be a bit larger than what we can normally transfer using the services that we normally use, because that's 2 gigabytes. So depending on whether you want to upload the entire thing, we're going to have to find an alternative solution. But for the screenshots,
I'll keep doing short of it.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah.
All set up. Nice. guys, thanks a lot for joining in and playing the game. We have yet another one in the playtesting matrix, and yeah, we're closing in to unlock something that's going to make the PTGs happy, because the next factions that are available, there's the Vampire Covenant and the Southern Ancients that are waiting for us.
Hey,
So one of you two is going to be
that's
happy.
more like it. That is more like it. Well, no, Lucky Sixes is a vampire guy, isn't he? So
Right?
we're equally happy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Bring on the Thorians. No excuses once they're here, is there?
And I have to say that there's been a little conversation with some friends from the from within the Essence of War team, and one very famous and very amazing podcast where, you know, I had a little chat with some friends. It's going to be published soon. I'm not going to say any more because they are. It's going to be a nice surprise, and we've been talking about Essence of War in that podcast, and I've been grilled for, you know, not having released yet any of the advanced armies so far, which is more or less where Essence of War is going to become very, very, very fun to play, much more than with just the basic patrols. And so I've been under a bit of heat, and I might have promised to, you know, try and make so that we release some advanced things soon. So
All to look forward to.
Gosh darn layout, isn't it? And things. It's yeah.
So hopefully it's gonna become even more entertaining in the near future.
Do you want to flip the table in Rage, Hyper G?
No, not at all. No, I'm not the rage kind of guy.
Oh, I think it's good.
Lucky Sixes, however, violent man.
Very violent man.
That's why I
absolutely.
locked the table after, you know, a couple of games with Lucky Sixes. That's like I'm gonna prevent that.
Chaos. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Thanks again for the games, guys. It was a pleasure. Thanks to everybody in the chat who stayed for the game, and I hope to see you soon again on the channel. Big pleasure as always.
Good stuff. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye everybody.